Good afternoon and welcome inside Labatt Memorial Park here in London, Ontario. An afternoon affair of Inter-County Baseball League action comes your way momentarily, and we welcome you up to the Game Day London broadcast booth for the BP8 Fitness pregame show. Noah Smith alongside Dylan Baker for the action here. Dylan, it is the fourth meeting of this regular season between London and Hamilton.
Yeah, these two teams seeing each other for the fourth time this regular season. As you mentioned, they'll see each other for the final time of the regular season on Tuesday, and they may just see each other the week after that for the playoffs, Noah, because this could be a playoff preview here at Labatt Park on what is a beautiful afternoon for baseball.
Certainly is. The wind is gusting a little bit here this afternoon, and it has really cooled things off, actually, in the grand scheme of things. So, really good ball game on tap. These teams have played themselves fairly close. Majors lead the season series 2-1, and as you mentioned, they have themselves back-to-back here on what turns out to be a very busy final week of the regular season for the London Majors. If you include the 2 games they've already played this weekend, Dylan, it's 8 games in the final 10 calendar days heading into the playoffs.
It's a brutal stretch right now for the Majors because they've got a lot of baseball in a short period of time. Their only off days come tomorrow and Thursday this week for this final stretch of the season. You talked about how close these two teams have played each other throughout the campaign so far. There was no better example of that than the last time they faced off in Hamilton just last Friday night when the Majors took down the Cardinals by a score of 6-5 in extra innings. It took to 10 innings for the Majors to emerge victorious in that contest. The Majors, if they finish 4th, there's a chance Hamilton finishes 5th and they face off in the first round. The Majors could finish in 3rd and Hamilton could finish in 6th. There's so many possibilities still up in the air in this last week. It's going to be all important, and these games against Hamilton will be a really, really interesting watch because they could be an indicator of how things are going to go in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, the standings are super tight through the middle of the Inter-County Baseball Leagues. 8 teams that are making the playoffs here. London comes into this game tied with the Guelph Royals for that 3rd place spot. And you know what? 6 games for the Majors in the final week here. There is still so much room, so much movement that can go on in the standings heading into the playoffs here as we approach the final week. Dylan, I had a chance to sit down and chat with Roop Chandat prior to today's game in today's Roop's Report. Noah Smith here with London Majors manager Roop Chandat prior to today's game. Roop, London heads into the final week of the regular season, and it is a gauntlet. You guys have just 2 days off in the final 8 days. How do you approach a week like this and knowing that it's going to be busy?
Try to get rest. Try to drink lots of fluid. You want to be healthy. That's the key in any of this. Just try to be healthy and get everyone going in the right direction. Get all the guys ready. So it's key, be healthy and be ready.
Is there any change in mindset for the team coming into the final week? The playoff picture kind of starts to take place. You look at who you might get. Does that go into your mind at all, or is it just business as usual, take it day by day, game by game?
You know what? A lot of people start thinking about that stuff. I don't. I just want to play the best baseball. I always say play the best baseball and baseball gods. Wherever you finish and play whoever you have to play. You don't try to screw around with matchups and stuff like that.
Now, you mentioned the health of the team and trying to get some of the guys' bats going here. Coming into the final week and into the start of the playoffs in round 1, getting everybody firing on all cylinders can sometimes be a tough thing. Is there anything that you guys are doing, or is it just all about reps at this point?
You know what? First, trying to get everyone healthy. We're close to that. We still got a few guys that are really banged up, like significantly banged up. And then getting reps, and I want to put guys so they're in comfortable spots, so they're hitting well, or at least having good swings, and that's the main thing. So it's just trying to get everyone healthy, get everyone feeling good about themselves. If you're feeling good, you're going to play well.
Finally, a good turnaround season here. You guys have locked up home field for the first round of the playoffs. How big is that to get to play in front of the Labatt Park fans here for round 1?
You know what? Anytime you're playing at this park with our fans, it's an advantage. You know, you've seen our record at home. It's always a pretty good record. We owe it a lot to the fans. They get behind us, and, we're excited to play in front of them.
Thanks, Roop. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
Well, we had a chance to hear from Roop Chandat there, and Dylan echoing a lot of the facts that we kind of knew. The Majors not really wanting to change anything here in the final week of the regular season.
Not trying to change much, but searching for consistency in winning ways. They've been kind of a 500 team over their last stretch, as I touched on Friday night, and they're looking to become the dominant selves that we saw early on in the season from this Majors ball club.
Well, and they're going to look to do so here. It is a busy, busy stretch, and they have another big game here on tap that is just moments away here at Labatt Park. This has been the BP8 Fitness pregame show, functional strength training for everybody.
In London, Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.ca.
I think this team has the potential to win another championship.
All the boys have talked about it in the clubhouse, getting that three-peat, you know.
You guys can win. You guys can win.
The anthem's complete and ready for baseball here on a Sunday afternoon. Thank you for joining us here on Majors TV for this Inter-County Baseball League action between the London Majors and the visiting Hamilton Cardinals. Noah Smith back alongside Dylan Baker for today's action, Dylan. And oh boy, do I feel like we've got a good one on tap for us today.
Absolutely we do, Noah. Two teams that are jockeying for positioning in the Inter-County Baseball League standings. Two teams that had an eventful contest last Friday, and two teams that might face off in the first round of the IBL playoffs. We've got a great pitching matchup on hand as well, so it should be a fun one from the Forks of the Thames.
We're certainly hoping that this one has everything that we are almost expecting in a contest like this one. It's got the pitching matchup. It's got the good bats on either side. Now we just look down to the field level and hope that, these gentlemen can take care of the rest for us and do what we know they can do.
We got a great game on Friday night between the London Majors and the Barrie Baycats here at Labatt Park. Two teams that are also jockeying for positioning in the IBL standings here down the stretch. So fans are hopeful. We've got another good contest in store here today.
Well, let's go ahead and let's check out the starting pitchers for today's ball game. A lot of talk about them, but here is who is going to be towing the rubber for the London Majors. Jose Arias got 4-5 records so far this season. ERA a little bit elevated at 4.52, but Dylan, the type of guy that can really control a ball game here. Majors hoping for that kind of consistency this afternoon.
When Jose Arias is on, there's really no one better in the Inter-County Baseball League. He went through a stretch of some pretty solid games after some rough ones. His last last start against the Welland Jackfish came last Saturday, a bit forgettable for Arias. 6 innings, allowed 5 runs, 4 of them earned 10 hits. But prior to that, his last start before that against the Toronto Maple Leafs, 6 innings of 1-run ball. He's been inconsistent this season. Majors hoping they get the dominant Jose Arias here today against Hamilton.
On the other side of the ball, we'll get to see Corbin Peters throwing for the Hamilton Cardinals. You see the record there. We haven't seen a whole lot of him this season, Dylan. They're hoping that they can get some innings out of Peters on the hill today.
Not many innings for Corbin Peters, but a lot of outings. He's pitched in 11 games this year, has a 344 earned run average, and a very high strikeouts per 9, very low walks per 9 as well for Peters. Small sample, only 15 2/3 innings this year, but hoping to prove to be a tough task for the Majors to face.
Great shot there of Jose Arias finishing up his warm-up pitches on our Game Day London mobile camera. And we are moments away from the first pitch here today. Another busy day in the Intercounty Baseball League. You get to this point in the season, and Dylan, I talked to Roop in the Roop's Report earlier today. It's almost like you kind of have to scoreboard watch. Roop, he'll never admit that he is. He'll never admit that he's looking at possible matchups for the playoffs. But every single one of us up here in the broadcast booth, in the press box, and I'm sure many of the fans in the seats, they know they're watching the standings, right? They're watching the out-of-town scoreboard. They want to see what's going on around the IBL today. And it's a full slate of games again here on this Intercounty Sunday.
8 of 9 teams playing here on this Sunday afternoon. It's a great day of baseball. We'll be following along for sure as this game progresses.
So we are just about ready to go here as Arias gets ready to climb the hill to begin the ball game here for London. First pitch to DeCastro is in there for strike one, and we are underway. 4:09 the first pitch here in London. Arias ready, right to the plate again as this one's hit out into the air to center field. Underneath it, and 2 pitches to record the first out of the ball game here. Good start for Arias.
Good start for Jose Arias indeed, Noah, and a quick out of the leadoff hitter. That is a tough out for the Hamilton Cardinals and Calvin DeCastro, just fresh out of the Blue Jays organization.
I'll bring up Luis Bernardo to the plate here for the Cardinals, as he'll look to try and get things going for Hamilton. Arias ready as he grabs the sign, delivers this one, hit on the ground to shortstop. Mosher, throw across is in time, and another quick out to open up the ball game.
Great efficiency for Jose Arias. 3 pitches getting him 2 outs so far, exactly what the Majors want to see.
They have been coming out swinging early. Got underneath the first one and on top of the second one for 2 quick outs. And a fantastic start for Arias. Couldn't hope for anything better. Now we'll see if Duncan elects to be a little bit more patient at the plate here.
Tyler Duncan, the reigning IBL most valuable player, is such a good hitter who will never get cheated up there at the plate.
That one is in there for strike one. Duncan steps out a little bit, now back into that left-hand batter's box. And he awaits the pitch. On the ground, coming in, the second baseman scoops it, throw to one. Not in time. Duncan beats it out. He was hustling down the line. And he's going to be aboard with 2 outs here in the top of the first.
That's a tough play for Gibson Krasminski charging in from second base, but it's one you know that he and the Majors would like to have. The on-the-run throw to first just not in time. Duncan's got good speed, and he was busting it out of the batter's box, and he was able to beat that one out for an infield single. Arias still pitching very efficiently. I mean, 5 pitches, all it took to get through 3 batters. Obviously, Duncan reaching, but a weakly hit baseball yet again.
I didn't think Krasminski over at second base fielded that one poorly, per se, as well. Just a half second behind. And as you mentioned, Duncan was hustling down the line. And he is aboard with the first hit of the ball game. Arias falls behind 1-0 here. Dennis DeBanning is the batter. He's the right fielder today for the Cards. On the ground to shortstop. Mosher goes the short way to 2. And the quick inning for Arias stays alive. 4 batters and under 10 pitches. And it'll get the Majors onto the bats here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, 7 pitches, all it takes for Jose Arias in the first frame to get through the Hamilton Cardinals. Really, really great efficiency, generating weak contact. You see him talking as he heads into the Majors dugout. You mentioned it, Krasminski did not field that ball poorly whatsoever at second, and you've got to respect the power that Tyler Duncan has and play him a little further back at the second base bag, which is likely why they weren't able to record that out after some good hustle from Duncan and a really great inning for Majors starter Jose Arias. Noah, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he threw a ball the entire inning either. So 7 pitches, 7 strikes, and 3 outs.
No, fantastic work on the hill. And, the Cardinals, they came out ready to swing. They were putting the balls in play, and he was able to induce some ground balls, the fly out, of course. And it's a quick inning for him on the hill. Just about ready to go. Corbin Peters taking his warm-up pitches. Let's check out the starting lineup for the London Majors here as they get ready to face Peters here on this Sunday afternoon. It is Gibson Krasminski leading things off here for London, followed by Drew Lawrence, and then Eduardo De Olio, the catcher, in the 3-hole, followed by Cleveland Brownlee, the designated hitter, first 4 that'll get to greet Peters this afternoon.
Not all that different from what we've seen over the past couple of games for the Majors. Krasminski, Lawrence, De Olio, Brownlee in the top 4. Then you got Reichstein, Starling Joseph returned to the lineup yesterday for the Majors. A good bat to have back. Caden Cardoso went yard on Friday night, seems to be finding his swing again. Victor Plaz and Ty Mosher rounding things out in this Majors order.
Dylan, not that it's anything of a shock to anyone who's able to get here early enough. I know the gates don't open until 90 minutes prior to first pitch, but Starling Joseph was putting on a show in batting practice today. He launched a couple of balls that, if they bounced, I'd be surprised they made their way into the river. He was putting them 3/4 of a way up the trees in left field. I want to keep an eye on him today. Looked confident, looked loose in that right-hand batter's box. We'll get to see him at the bottom of the Majors order as the final warm-up pitches from Peters complete, and we are ready to go here in the bottom of the first inning.
Just to go back to Starling Joseph momentarily, Starling's at his best when he's loose and having fun, right? When he's having fun and enjoying himself on the baseball field, that's when he plays his best baseball. So the Majors will be hoping that he has a little bit of fun here today against the Cardinals.
Majors, the second baseman, number 27, Gibson Krasminski.
And here comes Gibson Krasminski to the plate to lead things off for London.
Krasminski hitting .291 this year coming into today's game. Has really found himself a comfortable spot in the 1-hole, in the leadoff spot for the Majors this year. Over the past, I would say, 10 or 15 games, he's seen the bulk of his at-bats from that spot in the order, and he's been very successful.
Swinging at the first pitch and fouls it back to the screen. Peters able to get ahead 0-1 to the first batter he faces here this afternoon. And that one's going to be inside. Moves the count to 1-1. Peters, a swing and a miss there from Krasminski. And now he's got himself in a 2-strike count, 1-2.
Well-placed pitch there from Corbin Peters, trying to work Gibson Krasminski further in on the hands that he can't get his arms extended, and really good offering there.
The look inside. They have been inside on the first 4 pitches to Krasminski here. Trying to work him in and low and get the chase that time. It did not offer. Ready again. This one line to shortstop. Picked up. DeCastro. Throw across to one is in time. And Krasminski is retired for the first out of the bottom of inning number 1.
Tough luck there for Gibson Krasminski. Hit that ball on the screws towards shortstop, but Recalvin DeCastro was perfectly positioned to field that ball on a hop and fire a strike over to first.
And here is Drew Lawrence strolling to the plate for London. First pitch catches the outside corner, and getting ahead 0-1 is Peters. has the look again. Now delivers. That one's well outside. Gets all the way to the backstop.
Sharp breaking ball there for Corbin Peters, a little bit too sharp against Drew Lawrence. Lawrence batting .377, only across 21 games this year for the Majors, so he doesn't qualify for the average leaderboard, but is in the number 1 spot on the team.
In the dirt and blocked by Bernardo, keeping that one out of the shins of home plate umpire and crew chief today, Rob Stevenson. Nick Leffler is at third base. James Deacon is the first base umpire. 2-1 count now here on Lawrence as the delivery from Peters is fouled back into the screen, and the count goes to 2-2.
Good fastball there from Corbin Peters. Drew Lawrence late on that last offering. We'll see if he tries to climb the ladder maybe a little bit more with that hard heater and get a chase from Drew Lawrence. Not a guy who strikes out a whole lot. 8 walks and 7 strikeouts this season across 53 at-bats.
Swing and a miss. Lawrence goes down on strikes, and there's 2 quick outs now for the Majors in the bottom of 1.
Figures that after I mentioned his propensity to not strike out, he swings through that last offering. Good fastball from Peters. Peters can bring it with the velocity. I'm curious to see how long Corbin Peters will throw in this ball game. We mentioned that he's pitched in 11 games this season. Only 2 of them starts. Has pitched 15 2/3 innings. His last outing against Brantford, though, he did throw 4 innings of work. Earlier this year against the Majors, he also threw 4 innings of work. So he's trying to build up a little bit for the playoffs, is my guess. So he may be let loose off the leash here in this game.
Deolio, they're going to say he offered at that first pitch in the dirt. See the kind of recreation from Deolio there. He didn't agree. Finds himself in the hole 0-1, though. And now he swings through another breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes here to Deolio.
Big swing there from Eduardo Deolio. Another great breaking ball from Peters. His pitches break so sharply.
The 0-2 off the plate, tried to get him a chase. Again, 3 similar pitches to start the at-bat to Deolio here by Peters.
Yeah, they're all on the outside part of the plate. They're all breaking balls trying to get Deolio to swing through them.
Ready is this one, laced down the left field line, coming on, and caught by Daly in left. Making his way towards the line, and it is a gorgeous catch to end the inning. The Majors held out of the hit column in 1. It is a scoreless game here at Labatt Park through an inning here on Majors TV.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Hello, my name is Jim Nutter with Nutter's The Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Back here on Majors TV as we move along to the 2nd inning as Jose Arias back out onto the hill for the Majors. Had a 7-pitch top of the first against the Cardinals. Awfully effective, Dylan. Didn't get a chance to check out the lineup for the Cardinals, so here is the starting lineup for Hamilton today that is getting to face Jose Arias. We saw DeCastro, Bernardo, Duncan reaching on an infield single, and then DeBanning ending the inning. So it'll be Josh Niles, Brandon Daly, and Cam Gravel, the first 3 to greet Arias here in the top of the 2nd inning.
Yeah, we saw Brandon Daly make a nice play out in left field to wrap up the home half of the first. Stephen Whalen and Evan Simons round out this Cardinals order, looking to do some damage against Arias.
Gorgeous Sunday afternoon here in London, about 21 degrees Celsius at the time of first pitch. So really has cooled off over the last week compared to the kind of the 2 or 3 week stretch we went through at the end of July, where things were hot here at the ballpark. First pitch from Arias is upstairs for ball 1. Swung right through that one. 1 ball and 1 strike.
You mentioned the heat. No, I actually just got a fan that I was thinking about bringing today, and then I looked at the forecast. Wasn't going to be hot enough for my fan.
Didn't want to show it off. That one's going to be hit right into the hole there and into left field. Placed perfectly between Plaz and Mosher on the left side. And Niles is aboard with a leadoff single here in the second.
You mentioned where that ball was placed off the bat of Josh Niles. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better right there. Wasn't hit very hard, exactly what Jose Arias was trying to generate in terms of quality of contact, but it found the perfect spot directly between Mosher and Plaz. Neither guy could get to it. Mosher had the best shot, and even then it was still out of his reach. So a leadoff base hit.
Arias trying to keep the runner there as Niles is aboard with the single. Now popped up sky high into shallow center field. It's Lawrence in to make the catch, and he'll get right underneath it for out number 1.
High pop up there. Drew Lawrence taking control. The center fielder's got priority over every single person on the diamond, and Drew Lawrence made sure everybody knew it. Handled that one quite nicely and makes the catch for the first out.
So that'll bring up the left-handed bat of Kim Gravel here. Niles still at first base. And now Arias with a throw over to 1. Got him! Oh, they caught Niles leaning a little bit over there at first base, and they pick him off.
Great job by Jose Arias there. Josh Niles took a very, very aggressive lead, and one thing that Jose Arias has been working on is his ability to hold runners on. We saw pickoff on Friday night courtesy of Travis Keys, and then right there, Cardoso a great tag, Arias a great move, and they get the second out.
That first pitch upstairs here to Gravel, who finds himself now batting with 2 outs after the pickoff. Just off the plate there, and Arias falls behind 2-0.
You got to like that pitch if you're Jose Arias and Eduardo De Olio, despite the fact that you don't get the call on the outside corner. It was definitely off the corner by just a little bit. It's a well-located offering from the Majors right-hander.
Missing again, now 3-0. It's been outside there entire at-bat to Gravel.
Yeah, if I'm Jose Arias right here, I think I'm going right after Gravel. No need to pitch around the edges.
There for a strike on 3-0. Got a good view of in the press box here where Drew Lawrence has palms in the air there. He thought it looked similar to the 2-0 pitch that missed. And now it's going to be low and inside, and Gravel will be aboard with a 2-out walk.
Gravel hitting 200 this season, batting in the 7th spot. I mean, I thought the Majors were a little overly cautious with Gravel there, pitching him on the outside part of the plate on every offering. Might as well come right after him. You know Arias has a good fastball, but nitpicking around the corner cost them 3 straight balls, pretty much missing in the exact same spot, and that leads to a 2-out walk.
So Stephen Whalen will come to the plate now for Hamilton. First pitch curveball is low and in the dirt. Gravel, he wasn't taking a big lead on that first pitch after the pickoff from Niles. Only a couple of steps off that bag. Arias looks anyways, now delivers to the plate. This one ripped into right field. On to pick it up is Reichstein. Throw into 2. And third hit of the ball game for Hamilton with 2 outs here in the second.
That was the first time the Cardinals have made solid contact all game against Jose Arias, and you don't want that 2-out walk to come back to bite you, but a walk in a tough spot to be issuing one for Jose Arias in the majors. That one a great piece of hitting by Stephen Whalen. His second hit in a Hamilton Cardinals uniform, now 2 for 15 since he joined the Cardinals this year. Really well placed right in the hole between Cardoso and Krasminski, and hit on the screws as well into right.
Cardinals trying to put something together here with 2 outs now. Arias looks back, now delivers to the plate. That one's going to get in between the legs of DeOlio, and he's not going to have a chance to throw out the runner. Gravel moves up 90 feet to third. Whalen had to stay put at first.
I don't know if DeOlio was just slow getting up or if he thought he had that baseball, but a really great read by Gravel over at second base, picking up on the fact that it got through the legs of DeOlio and he had a shot to move up. He had to move quickly if he wanted to do so. He did just that and acquires 90 feet without a throw.
Arias, bottom of the zone with the curveball for a strike. You know, Dylan, that's one of those plays that won't go down as a stolen base for Gravel. But the base running there really picked up the 90 feet.
Absolutely.
Not everybody moves up on that play.
No, absolutely not. That's a really great read by Gravel.
Just missing low and away as Arias. 2 balls and a strike now.
Officially, it's been charged a pass ball on Eduardo DeOlio, allowing Gravel to reach third.
Missing away. Arias struggling to find the zone a little bit here in this at-bat.
Started his contest all over the strike zone. I mean, 6 strikes on 7 pitches in the first inning, but he's got that same strike total here in the second on 14 pitches. That's only 42% of his pitches in this inning that have been strikes.
Arias has a look and bounces that one to the plate. Good block by DeOlio, keeps it in front of him. And that will move the count to full at 3 balls and 2 strikes now. So Whalen will get a head start at first base. Simons look to keep the inning going here for the Cardinals.
Last thing Jose Arias wants to do is issue another 2-out walk. Allowing the Cardinals to get base runners and prolong this inning is kind of worst case scenario for the Majors right-hander. We'll see what Simons is able to do in the 9 spot. If he does win this battle against Arias, what an at-bat.
Arias wants to make a move over to first base anyways, just to check on Whalen. He mentioned he gets the head start on this pitch. Got to make sure Arias goes to the plate first. Never a bad idea to check on the runner. Make sure he's not cheating. 3-2. Arias grabs his sign. Look and the leg kick. Delivered to the plate. This one's going to be ripped into the left infield gap, and there to get it is Starling Joseph. Ball hung up just enough for him there. And he makes the catch and gets the Majors out of a jam in the top of the second inning.
You'll occasionally see Starling Joseph out in center field for the Majors when he's needed over there, and that's because he's got the range to pull off plays just like that. He's in left today, but Joseph can move out in the outfield. He made that play look pretty routine on a ball that absolutely was not. That's a tough play. I thought for sure off the bat it was going to get down in the gap and cause some problems for the Majors with 2 runners on base, but Joseph does a great job tracking it down and getting Arias out of the inning unscathed.
So a great job there by Jose Arias, who, although ran into a little bit of trouble in that second inning, is through 2 on just 23 pitches. So still being consistent and still being effective on the mound.
A 7-pitch inning will certainly help that, but even last inning where he allowed a couple more hits, he was pretty efficient and effective all in all for the Majors, and he's going to look to keep that up throughout the contest. You can't expect 7-pitch innings every inning for the Majors right-hander, but as long as he can stay around that 15-pitch mark, he's going to be successful, and that's what the Majors are going to be looking for here today.
Youngsters out at the ballpark today here. That is one of the pros in my mind of these Sunday afternoon games here in the summer. 4 o'clock start here today. We'll get you home just after dinner time, Dylan. There's always a good time at the ballpark. Or enjoy some dinner at the ballpark as well. What better way to spend a Sunday afternoon?
A Bill's Burger, a hot dog, why not? Some of the nachos here at Labatt Park. There's lots of great food options for you. All super reasonably priced too, Noah. We were talking about some exorbitant prices earlier this week, and then I looked at the menu at Labatt Park on Friday, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much better over here than some of the prices we had seen. So it's all very reasonably priced at Labatt Park, and some great food for you to enjoy on a Sunday afternoon or a Friday night.
And a good crowd out here today enjoying some sunshine and some baseball. As we move along to the bottom of the second inning, we will get greeted by London legend Cleveland Brownlee to open up the bottom of the second inning.
Leading off for your Majors, the designated hitter, number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
Brownlee, a guy who has turned his fortunes around as of late at the plate. He's been hitting the baseball very hard lately. He did not get a hit yesterday in Barrie, but on Friday hit the ball hard, I think 2 or 3 times when he came up. There was one at-bat where he did not, but everything else was hit pretty well by Brownlee, including a double. So we'll see what he's got in store against Peters here. Peters is certainly going to work him away with some breaking balls, I think.
Pounds the bottom of the zone there. Cleve thought it was too low, and he falls behind 0-1.
Cleve's got a bit of that Aaron Judge factor, and I mention it every once in a while. Sometimes the umpires forget he's that tall. He is a big man up at the plate, and those low strikes that may be strikes on other guys are probably not strikes on Cleve.
Underneath, this one pops it up. This one's going to make its way into the large foul territory here. And running that one down is Luis Bernardo.
It's a terrific athletic play by Hamilton catcher Luis Bernardo. That's a long run. You touched on it there, Noah. A lot of foul territory here at Labatt Park, and Bernardo pops out of the crouch, gets himself situated, finds the baseball, and makes that catch on the run, full of gear. So a great job by by Luis Bernardo.
Although we have no doubt that Byron
could pull
track that down as well.
Even in the gear, I think.
Even in the gear. It's been a while since we've seen Byron in the gear.
What was it, 2021, 2022 that he did that?
He's going to lace this one to left on a line and caught there by Daly in left.
Daly well positioned out there in left field. Hardly had to move, just a couple of steps to his right. To right shine, hit that baseball hard, but an easy routine play for the left fielder.
So that'll bring Starling Joseph to the plate here.
Starling Joseph.
4 home runs and a .258 average so far here this summer. But a significant power threat every time he strolls to the plate here. Peters grabs his sign, first pitch delivered in the bottom corner for strike one. Peters ready again. Drops the curveball in there, and he gets up quickly here on Starling, 0-2.
That's a really good pitch there from Corbin Peters. You know Joseph wasn't thrilled with that first strike call, and then he floats a curveball into the zone right down Broadway. Starling just wasn't ready for it.
And he'll offer at that one. Peters strikes out Joseph. And this ball game remains scoreless through 2. You're watching London Majors Baseball here on Majors TV.
On the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home.
Joseph crushes.
Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and whether it's in the rink with the Knights or on the field with the Majors. Game Day London has you covered from the start. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com, a proud sponsor of Majors TV.
Back here for the third inning between the Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals on Majors TV. Glad you're with us on a picture-perfect Sunday afternoon for baseball. Jose Arias will face the top of the Cardinals order for the second time today, looking to stay efficient and successful.
23 pitches through the first 2 innings for Jose Arias, but he has given up 3 hits and a walk so far, Dylan. That just speaks to what the rest of the at-bats have been like for the Cardinals. A lot of early swings and a lot of rollover ground balls so far as Arias gets set to work in the third inning here.
Lots of contact, including off the bat of Raquel de Castro, who steps in for the second time. First pitch will be in there for a strike. It's 0-1. De Castro flew out to center field to lead off the ball game. Arias working quickly this afternoon into the windup. Here's the 0-1 breaking ball. That falls in for strike 2.
And I'm interested, Dylan, to see if this second time through the order, if the Cardinals are a little bit more patient at the plate. We saw a lot of, 1-pitch, 2-pitch swings.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jose Arias making quick work of Raquel de Castro. Gets his first strikeout of this contest on just 3 pitches.
Well, even when he strikes out batters, Dylan, he's being efficient. Just took 3 pitches there to get to Castro, and now there is 1 gone to open up the top of the third.
So 1 gone. That'll bring up Luis Bernardo. Bernardo grounded out to shortstop back in the first inning. Here's the first offering from Arias. Breaking ball, Bernardo taking all the way. Strike 1.
Pretty good season for Bernardo, hitting .289 so far this summer.
That one spiked in the dirt in front of DeOlio. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Probably heard us talk often, Dylan, about that there's certain guys in each lineup who just can almost light fire at any given moment, and Bernardo, one of those guys for the Cardinals.
Absolutely. He's a potent bat in the Cardinals lineup when he's on. Here's the 1-1. Inside, doesn't get the call, and it's 2-1 now.
And this kind of goes back to what I was talking about here, is if we'll see a little bit more patience from the Cardinals this second time through the order.
Probably the message from manager Chris Piano. Arias into the windup. Here comes the 2-1. Line drive out of the reach of Krasminski into center field. It's a base hit for Luis Bernardo, so he's got a 1-out single to put a base runner on for Hamilton.
Got a really good piece of that pitch and was able to line it. I thought off the bat, Dylan Krasminski might have had a chance to get there, but it was just hit too hard, too out of his reach to be able to rein that one in over at second base. And it's a 1-out single here for the Cardinals, who already have 4 hits in the ballgame.
Tyler Duncan has one of those hits, though it was an infield hit to second base back in the first inning. He steps into the batter's box now. Bernardo not really a threat to run over at first base. Doesn't have an aggressive lead. Duncan chops this one over the head of Arias. Going to be a tough play. Charging Mosher on the run. Throw to first. In time to get him. Great play by Time Mosher over at shortstop to record the second out.
Well, credit to Mosher there. I don't know if our camera was able to pick it up, but we had a perfect view here of our vantage in the broadcast booth. That ball, Dylan, took a hop on him. On the last hop before it picked him up, it was kind of over on the third base side behind the mound, and it hopped over to the second base side, and he was able to pick it up with just enough time to get the throw to one to retire the batter.
So 2 gone, runner in scoring position for Dennis DeBanning. DeBanning batting .298 this year. 20 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. Up and into DeBanning. It's 1-0.
Runner in scoring position here for the Cardinals after Bernardo was able to move up on the ground out. They've had a couple of runners in scoring position now. looking for that hit to try and bring him home.
1-0 home, a breaking ball that Dave Banning waves at and misses. 1-1. One ball, one strike, two out. Here's the offering. Outside corner, 1-2.
Perfectly placed pitch there by Arias, pounding the bottom corner. Kept it on the outside portion of the plate. DeBanning, I think, might have been looking for at least a different area, if not a different pitch.
The 1-2 home. Breaking ball, cut on and missed. DeOlio will have to complete the putout with a throw to first, and it is in time to get him. So Jose Arias, a pair of strikeouts in the third inning, and gets through the third frame, scoreless.
Well, another great inning there by Jose Arias. Another hit for the Cardinals. They get the runner up to second, but they can't find the hit to bring him in. They've got 4 hits to the first 3 innings now, to the Majors none, as they head to the bats here in the bottom of inning number 3.
Majors going to be trying to figure out Corbin Peters here, Noah. Peters has had their number up to this point in the ball game, and really in a couple of outings in the past as well. He started here in London on Pack the Park Day, where the Cardinals took down the Majors 6-3, went 4 innings, allowed just 2 hits, and struck out 6 in that contest. 6 strikeouts in just 4 innings of work. So something's not working right now in the Majors' approach against the Cardinals righty.
Well, and we did just see a quick meeting outside the Majors dugout there between manager Roop Charadat and his batters. I don't know if they're going over maybe something that they've picked up through the first 6 batters of the ball game now against the starting pitcher, Corbin Peters. We'll have to wait and see. But the bench here, they've got a lot of outs still to work with here, Dylan. They're not worried at this point yet, but they'd like to try and find their way into the hit column sooner rather than later as we move along to the bottom of the third.
They'll have 7, 8, and 9 in their order to do it. It'll be Caden Cardoso leading things off, followed by Victor Plaz and Ty Mosher. We'll see what they're able to do against Peters, and Peters loves to use that sharp breaking curveball against right-handed batters. We saw him use it to Brownlee. We saw him use it against Drew Lawrence as well, and Eduardo DeOlio especially. Got Starling Joseph to wave at it and come up empty. It's a really tight pitch in the way that it breaks, and he's able to generate a lot of swings and misses from it.
Dylan, 3 other games going on in the Intercounty Baseball League we touched on in our pregame show. One of those already complete. Kitchener 7-1 winners over the Barrie Baycats this afternoon at Jack Couch Park. The Brantford Red Sox have taken a 3-1 lead into the bottom of the 9th inning at Christie Pitts over the Maple Leafs, and the Guelph Royals have just struck for a run in the top of the 11th inning in Chatham at Fergie Jenkins Field. They lead 5-4.
So some close, exciting games on the docket here today in the IBL. As Caden Cardoso strolls into the batter's box to face Peters. No score here in the home half of the third. First pitch from Peters. Cardoso waves at it, comes up empty 0-1.
We are the late game in the IBL today at a 4 o'clock start, Dylan. Which doesn't feel late. It actually feels like a pretty good time for a ball game to me, but a lot of 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock starts in the IBL here on this Sunday.
That one inside to Cardoso. The good thing about that is we're going to get a lot of the results from the contests going on today before we wrap up, so we'll get a picture of how the IBL standings look after a busy Sunday. 1-1. Inside corner to Cardoso, 1-2.
Peters continues to just pound the zone here. That one was on the inside edge, and if you're Cardoso, you can only get around on that one quickly or watch it go by and hope for another one here.
The 1-2 home. Chopper on the ground towards shortstop. DeCastro plays out on the big hop. Throw to first is in time, and there's one gone in the bottom of the third.
DeCastro at short there had that one hop on him a little bit on the last hop as well, but he was able to reach for it and still have enough time for the strong throw across to first for the out. Cardoso almost slapping at that one on 2 strikes, but still got some good wood on it. Got down the line quickly, made him work to get the out, but there's one gone.
Victor Plaz will stroll into the batter's box now for the first time. We've talked about the efficiency for Jose Arias up to this point of the ball game. Corbin Peters at 23 pitches through 2 1/3 innings.
Yeah, it's been great to see from both of these pitching staffs so far. Peters for the Cardinals and Arias for the Majors.
First pitch to Plaz is in the dirt for ball 1.
33 games for Plaz so far this season with the Majors, batting .291.
Fourth on the team overall, second among qualified hitters in batting average, as that one's there for a strike. It's 1-1. Trailing only Caden Cardoso.
We'll look to try and find the Majors' first hit of the afternoon here.
The 1-1 home. Plaz swings through that one. Good fastball from Peters. It's 1-2.
Looked like he recognized that pitch, Dylan. It was the one he wanted to swing at and was just a little bit behind it.
1-2 count, 1 out. Peters looking for strikeout number 3 in the ball game. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Victor Plaz down on strikes. There's 2 gone in the bottom of the third.
Came right back to it against Victor Plaz. Went down and away, though, on the location and got him to chase away. Strikeout for out number 2.
So Ty Mosher into the batter's box now for the Majors with 2 out. Peters trying to set down the Majors the first time through the order in order. 9 up, 9 down if he can get Mosher here. First pitch from the right-hander. Fouled off by Mosher, 0-1.
For Mosher here, he's now had the chance to watch 8 batters ahead of him and see what Corbin Peters was throwing today.
The 0-1. Inside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
A little bit of a reaction there from Peters. Head tilt, pardon me. He thought that one might have caught the inside edge, didn't get the call.
Here's the 1-1 home. Mosher does not bite at that pitch above the strike zone. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now.
Changed the eye level there and trying to get the swing and miss, but a good job there by 9-7 to hold up.
2-1. That one misses. 3 balls and 1 strike now to Ty Mosher. Majors haven't had a base runner either up to this point.
I was just going to say, Dylan, the hit column obviously looking at a 0 right now, but they'd love a base runner in any capacity.
Ball 4 chance raining down as Mosher skies this one in the air. Going to be a tough play for Daly. Racing into foul territory. On the warning track, he tracks it down. A long run for Brandon Daly, but Corbin Peters sets the Majors down. 9 up, 9 down the first time through the order. We head to the 4th on Majors TV. No score. Hamilton and London.
has the potential to win another championship.
All the boys have talked about it in the clubhouse, getting that three-peat, you know.
You guys can win. You guys can win.
Going to be a close play here. Oh, it didn't touch the plate.
Oh, no.
The kids running the bases at Labatt Park, and one of them forgot to touch home.
There was one kid, Dylan, they started home plate, obviously make their way around the bases. Everybody, except for one kid, took the turn at first base. He made about 30, 40 feet down the line before first base umpire James Deacon was like, no, hey, this way, this way. I think he would have gone around the whole outfield had they let him.
Yeah, you don't have to go all the way to the warning track, my friend. It's just on the infield. Thankfully, James Deacon there to point him in the right direction. What a treat we've had up to this point in this ball game, Noah. Two good pitchers going at it, and two pitchers having some good ball games so far.
Yeah, certainly we've been treated to some good pitching on both sides of the ball so far. Jose Arias for the Majors through 3 innings right now, 35 pitches for him. Has given up 4 hits, has walked a batter as well, while striking out 2, still looking at a 0 in the score column. And then Corbin Peters for the Hamilton Cardinals, 3 innings on 32 pitches, has struck out 3 London Majors. They have yet to get a base runner, no hits, no walks through 3 as we move along to the top of the 4th inning.
We'll see what the 4th has in store for these two ball clubs. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the Cardinals' order to kick things off. Josh Niles will be followed by Brandon Daly and Cam Gravel. Brandon Daly, we are told, a Humber College commit.
Well, it was right in our we got stats guys kind of behind the play. You know, sometimes they feed us stuff mid-game. Shout out to Andrew Wark, who, if we didn't say that on air, he might have got upset.
Yes, we have to give credit where credit is due. Andrew Wark feeding us that statistic. First pitch from Arias to Josh Niles is going to miss for ball 1. Niles 1 for 1 on the day. Singled to left field his last time up. The 1-0. That's there for a strike. It's 1-1.
Arias has been working well so far today. This second time through the order, though, is where you really get to see how effective a pitcher can be.
1-2 here against Niles. Was pretty successful against the top of the order for the second time through, only allowing the hit to Bernardo. The 1-2 home to Niles. Didn't miss by much. It's 2-2.
That one just missed off the outside corner. Not by much, and both DeOlio and Arias knew that.
So 2-2 count here. Niles ready in the batter's box as Arias gets set on the rubber. Here's the offering. Breaking ball. Niles rips it, but rips it foul, and so we'll try again on 2-2.
Curveball that time, and he was able to hold up just enough to get a piece of it, but was still well out in front of it and couldn't keep it fair down the line.
The 2-2 home popped up on the infield. DeOlio doesn't see it. It's Plaus crashing hard, and he makes the catch for the first out.
Deep breath after that one for the Majors faithful. Didn't know exactly who was going to come away with it, but it is recorded for an out.
So 1 gone in the 4th inning after an adventurous infield pop-up, and that'll bring up Brandon Daly. Daly's made a couple of nice plays in the outfield thus far. 0 for 1 at the plate. Flew out to center field, shallow center field, in his first trip against Arias. First pitch to him. Breaking ball off the plate, and it's 1-0.
Dylan, just moments ago, the Toronto Maple Leafs have walked off the Brantford Red Sox. A Connor Lewis 3-run shot wins the ball game for the Maple Leafs 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th.
Wow. Connor Lewis, who I believe that's the second home run this week. I think he hit a long ball against Barrie on Wednesday night. That one misses 2-0.
Couldn't have come at a better time there for the Maple Leafs, who, although on the ropes, emerged victorious.
That one scorched down the line. It's just foul off the bat of Brandon Daly. Certainly looked close. Ruled foul by Nick Leffler over at third.
Well, and he's in a perfect spot over there on the edge of the outfield grass on the line to see that one all in front of him as well. Doesn't have to move as well. And you're right, it was close, but ruled a foul ball. Moves the count to 2-1.
2-1, 1 away. Daly ready in the box. Here's the offer from Arias. In the dirt, 3-1. Hitters count here. Excuse me, Noah. 3-1 in the dirt. That's ball 4, so Daly works a walk.
Well, I was just going to say, Daly at this point, he's looking to find any way aboard, get another base runner for the Cardinals here. This one with 1 out in the 4th inning. And they've done a good job here, and I believe that's a runner so far in every inning against Arias offensively for Hamilton now. They have just been looking for hits, but none of those hits have been in a situation where they could bring anybody in.
Runner on here at first base with 1 out. Daly already out to his lead. Pretty aggressive right now. Not in terms of distance, but in terms of getting out there. Here's the first pitch to Cam Gravel. That's there for a strike, 0-1.
Gravel walked his first time through the order.
Oh, 1 out. Dancing over at first is Daly. He's running. Here's the throw from Deolio. It is off the mark into center field. Daly gets up and won't try it over at third. He got a running start, stopped, started up again, and made it safely.
Well, that almost actually came back to bite him there. He got a running start off the bag at first, as if he was going to steal the bag. And then he stopped and actually made one small move back to first base. Arias didn't move, so he took off again and made it there in time. I think, Dylan, if that Deolio throw was another 2 feet to the left, they get him there. I don't think his extended jump was enough to steal that bag if Deolio's throw was a little bit closer.
I'm with you 100%. No, I thought they had him. If that throw was not off the mark, they might have gotten him. He's got a little bit of dirt in his eyes, I believe, right now, so just going to take a second to get cleaned off and reset.
Yeah, he just asked for some water. They, of course, hose down the infield before the game starts, but some dust kicked up there. And it looks like he will be A-OK.
Is he keeping the bottle with him out there at second base?
No, he's come to get it. I wonder now if the does nobody realize that now they've got it.
They sent the trainer off, and then nobody took the bottle.
Coach from third base came over as well. Nobody took the bottle back.
Nobody wanted it.
So they've got it figured out now. It goes down as a stolen base for Daly.
Puts himself in scoring position here for Gravel with 1 away. Arias looks in for the sign. Comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Called, strike 3. Gravel doesn't like it, but it's the second out of the top of the 4th inning.
Well, unfortunately for Gravel with the stolen base from Daly there, he was kind of left to watch that second strike go by, put him in an 0-2 hole, and then that one on the outside edge he thought was outside, but a great job by Arias to paint the corner. And now there's 2 gone as they look to try and strain that runner in Daly out at second base.
So Stephen Whalen into the batter's box here for the Cardinals. 1 for 1 today. Scorched a single through the right side. Hit his first trip back in the second. Breaking ball from Arias. Can't catch the zone. It's 1-0. Peaks back at second. Here's the 1-0 home. Off the plate outside, 2-0.
Well, Arias trying to work around Whalen here. He's 1 for 1. Ripped the baseball into the right field the first time around.
Hitters count here for Whalen. Skies this one. Foul territory. Plaus gives it a look, but it is out of play out of the concourse, and a young fan with a great snag. Or no, lost the baseball.
Oh, he almost had it.
Had me fooled.
Looks like they've got it now, though. As a round of applause from the fans in the general area over there atop the Majors dugout.
2-1's the count on Whalen. Daly getting a huge lead over at second on every pitch, bouncing almost halfway down the line, if not more, on his secondary lead. Not really being held on here by the Majors with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Up and away. Deolio snap throw to second. It gets by Mosher. Daly thought about it, but decides not to move up.
That was a second time now that Daly has gotten a big jumping lead. This time at second base. It was awfully similar to what he did at first base when he stole second. He was able to scamper back there, and I think Mosher was a little bit late getting to the bag as well. Otherwise, that throw from Deolio wasn't half bad.
Was in the dirt a little bit, and you mentioned it, Mosher late getting over, which put him in a tough spot to try to stop that one. Went between his legs into center field. So 3-1 count to Stephen Whalen in a good spot at the plate with 2 away and a runner in scoring position. Cardinals, as you mentioned, Noah, have had a base runner in every inning, have yet to be able to push one across on the scoreboard. Whalen looks out as Arias looks in and comes set. The 3-1 home. Popped up. Foul territory. This one out of play yet again. And so the count now runs full.
Great job by Whalen to fight that one off. Pitch a little bit up in the zone. Pitch counts now for Arias have gotten a little bit larger each inning that's gone on now. This next pitch will be number 55 on the afternoon. But a chance to get through the 4th.
The payoff pitch. Fouled straight back by Whalen, and we'll try again on 3-2. Just to go back to your point about the pitch counts getting higher every inning. 7 in the first, 16 in the second. Dropped it back down to 12 in the third, up to 20 in this 4th inning for Jose Arias. And the innings where he's thrown a lot of pitches, not many of them have been strikes. Only 50% in the second inning, 55% here at a much higher rate in the first and the third. Daly, a huge running start over at second. Whalen lines this one right back up the middle. Daly into third of the slide. He will come in to score with ease. And so the Hamilton Cardinals break through on the scoreboard here in the 4th. It's 1-0.
Well, a great piece of hitting there by Whalen. Lined that one right back up the middle. And now it didn't really end up meaning anything, but that is the second time that Daly got a huge jump off of Arias there. A running start this time from second base. Almost came back to bite him that he slid into third, but he was able to get up in time with his speed, get home with the game's first run here in the top of the 4th.
I think if Daly wasn't running on that play, they've got a shot at him at the plate, but because he was moving on the pitch and was already at third by the time Whalen made contact, there was no chance for the Majors whatsoever. So Evan Simons into the batter's box, the number 9 hitter with Whalen standing over at first. First pitch is a strike. It's 0-1.
Now 5 hits on the afternoon for the Cardinals. And a 1-0 lead. Whalen stands at first.
0-1, here's the pitch. That's there for a strike. It's 0-2.
Pushed a little bit off the plate there. Simons taking on that 0-1, but now he finds himself in a huge hole at the plate.
0-2, Arias trying to end the 4th right here. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Jose Arias limits the damage to just 1 run, but the Cardinals, after all those base runners, get on the scoreboard here. It's 1-0.
Well, Dylan, you can only flirt with fire for so long, is the saying. It hasn't been a dangerous flame here for the Cardinals. A lot of singles, some walks here, but eventually, if you keep getting base runners on, one of those hits is going to come in a spot where you need it. It does there. Whalen brings in the game's first run. And while it is just a 1-run lead, it's a lead, and they'll take it into the bottom of the 4th inning.
How about the work by Brandon Daly as well in that inning? Works a walk to get himself on base, and then really had Jose Arias timed up perfectly. Some great jumps at first, a great jump at second as well, which allowed him to score, and he kind of pushed across that run himself.
Well, he certainly did, right? We talk about how sometimes the walks, they don't mean a whole lot. But if you get a good base runner aboard, a walk can be as good as a double, right? He stole that second base really with ease. And then had third base stolen, all things considered, had third base stolen, came in to score anyways on the single. So, I mean, that just shows you how much a good base runner can affect the outcome of an inning.
Corbin Peters heading back out to the hill. Has yet to allow a base runner in this contest. Majors have no runs on no hits, no errors. The Cardinals 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. Interesting here, Noah, with Peters coming out there after a lengthy inning for the Cardinals. He actually had Luis Bernardo start standing up. He started in front of the mound, then went behind the mound, almost like he's coming in fresh for his first inning of work out of the bullpen or throwing in the bullpen, just trying to get right back into things and get fired up because he's been in the bullpen for the bulk of this season. So sitting for a long period and going back out there, not something he's accustomed to.
No, and we get to see it here as he continues to work, and we'll get to see it as he continues to work along in this ball game. Some of the things that he'll do to strengthen and lengthen out that arm as he gets ready to work in the bottom of the 4th inning, Dylan. Forgot to mention as well when we were talking about the out-of-town scoreboard as well, that game today where the Barrie Bay Cats dropped the contest officially gives the Welland Jackfish the regular season pennant here in 2024.
That is correct. So congratulations to the Welland Jackfish, back-to-back pennant champions. Majors won the pennant in 21 and 22. The Jackfish have won it in 23 and 24.
Yep, and they are cruising into another postseason here in 2024 where they will look to try and repeat as champions.
That one is off the plate outside for ball 1. Gibson Krasminski into the batter's box here for London, top of the Majors order in this bottom of the 4th inning. Checked his swing, doesn't matter, that's a strike, it's 1-1.
Held up there as he thought it was going to be off the plate, but that one had just enough to bring it back in and over the zone for strike 1.
1-1. Off the plate outside. 2-1.
Majors here will look to try and work now, trailing in this ball game for the first time.
2-1, hit hard on the ground towards first. Nice scoop by Josh Niles. He'll take it to the bag himself, and there's one gone now in the home half of the 4th.
Not always an easy play over there at first base. Because of the big hops, you don't get to choose which one you're going to take that ground ball on. And you're kind of, you have the cards that you're dealt in that situation. Niles has to go after it, and he scoops it up just at the line there. Makes it look easy for out number 1.
Drew Lawrence out of the batter's box here. No, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a bunt for Drew Lawrence. He had a bunt single on Friday. Does not square on the first pitch. That's there for a strike, 0-1.
You and Stephen Whalen might be thinking the same thing. He brought himself in a couple of steps to just about where the edge of the grass is over at third base.
Doesn't square on 0-1, and that's there for 0-2.
Similar pitch there. Curveball up in the zone.
Peters working quickly. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball again. Doesn't find it. 1-2.
2 straight curveballs for strikes to open up the at-bat, back Whalen off to third base. And Lawrence in a big hole to work.
1-2 home. Breaking ball. Lawrence fights it off, and we'll try again on 1-2.
Dylan, I always found Drew Lawrence one of those batters that can often benefit from 2 strike counts because he just doesn't worry about overthinking things.
Fouls this one off again.
I don't want to speak things into existence. We talked about his strikeouts in the first before he had that strikeout, but sometimes just shortening up is a fantastic approach at the plate for certain hitters.
1-2 home. Called strike 3. Lawrence doesn't like the call, but the home plate umpire, Rob Stevenson, rings him up, and there's 2 gone.
I don't often agree with the batters. Sometimes they don't have the best view, but that one looked like it was off the outside corner. But Peters, has been all around the zone today, and sometimes that gives you the benefit of the doubt with the umpiring crews. That extra ½ inch to an inch sometimes, if you've been there all day long. He has been. Another strikeout for Peters, and there's 2 gone.
Eduardo Deolio into the batter's box here for the Majors. Breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Deolio was given a steady dose of breaking balls away and was set down back in the first inning on a line out to left field. (1-0 home). Swing and a miss on a curveball, and it's 1-1.
I was just looking back at that first at bat for DeOlio. They started him with 2 straight curveballs that he was swinging at in his first at bat, and they kind of were keeping things low and away the entire at bat. It wasn't until the pitch that he eventually hit into the outfield and was caught that he got a pitch somewhat over the plate.
Fouls this one off, so it's 1-2 here. DeOlio trying to avoid being the second strikeout victim of the inning, and the 5th of the ball game for Corbin Peters. 1-2 home. DeOlio gives this one a ride, but it's well foul, so we'll try once more on 1-2. One, two, here's the pitch. Inside, and it is ball 2.
You can count them there. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 Hamilton Cardinals players who thought that caught the inside corner.
2 of whom were the pitcher and catcher. Setting up on the outside is Bernardo. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2.
Only 3 guys that time who made a stride towards the dugout. They went from the inside to the outside and just missed off the corner on both. I'll admit, awfully close.
The 3-2 from Peters. DeOlio scorches this one, and the Majors are into the hit column. This one's going to roll all the way to the wall. DeOlio around first, charging for second. It's bobbled by Daly, and Eduardo DeOlio has what I believe is his 7th double in as many games. He's been on fire, and he gets the Majors' first hit.
Well, it's going to be a 2-out double here as that one gets the Majors into the hit column. Now Peters walked over to the third base line, and I don't know if he was just questioning on where those miss to the home plate umpire and crew chief Rob Stevenson. They're just looking for some clarification because he missed what he thought were 2 straight strike threes and then had a double laced into the left center field gap.
Frustrating for the man on the mound, Corbin Peters, as Cleveland Brownlee will step into the batter's box here for London. 2 out, runner in scoring position in DeOlio. Majors trying to even this one up after the Cardinals got on the scoreboard first in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch to Brownlee. Line drive, center field, sinking quickly, and it's going to be caught by Tyler Duncan on the run. So a couple of hard-hit baseballs to end the 4th inning. With the Majors leave DeOlio stranded at second. We're through 4 complete here from Labatt Park. It's 1-0 Hamilton.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Hello, my name is Jim Nuther with Nuther's The Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Back here inside Labatt Memorial Park as we move along to the 5th inning here on this Sunday afternoon. 4th of 4 games in the Inter-County Baseball League this afternoon. And it is the Hamilton Cardinals out in front to a 1-0 lead in London over the Majors. 1 run on 5 hits. They scored their run back in the top of the 4th inning on a single by Stephen Whalen. And that is all the offense that we have to show for through the first 4 innings of today's ball game. Arias back out to the hill for the Majors. He's done a great job. Pitch count up over 50 now. But we'll look to try and continue on with a strong start so far against these Cardinals batters. Raquelbin De Castro will be the man to lead things off here for Hamilton. Top of the 5th inning and top of the order for the Cardinals. De Castro, Bernardo, and Duncan, the first 3 that will face Jose Arias. First pitch hit on the ground to third base, picked up by Plaz. Throw across the diamond is in time. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jose Arias here in the top of the 5th inning. That ball was hit pretty well. Hopped its way over to third base before Plaz was able to range it in and record the out. And that will bring Luis Bernardo to the plate for the Cardinals. 1 for 2 so far in this afternoon's ball game. Squares around and pulls back as that pitch misses inside for ball 1. Hit on the ground to shortstop, and that one bobbled by Mosher and then Plaz off to his left. The Cardinals will have a base runner here as Bernardo gets aboard on what will likely be ruled an error with 1 out here in the inning. He had to be awfully quick in getting to that one was Mosher over at shortstop. And despite that, could not range it into his glove, and it is an error to put Bernardo aboard with 1 out here in the inning. Arias delivers with a first pitch strike to Tyler Duncan. He is also 1 for 2 this afternoon. His hit came on an infield single back in the first. Pitch in the dirt there. Not going is Bernardo. He didn't get a good read over at first base. And perhaps the Majors bailed out a little bit there on the count that moves to 1-1. Bernardo takes his lead over at first base, just a couple of steps off the bag. Arias delivers this one, hit on the ground, and not hard, but right into the hole and into right field. Reichstein will pick it up and throw it back in, but it's a single for Duncan. And 2 men aboard for the Cardinals here on the top of the 5th inning.
You mentioned, Noah, that baseball not hit overly hard off the bat there of Tyler Duncan, but perfectly placed right in the hole between Krasminski and Cardoso. Krasminski shaded up the middle a little bit more in case of the double play possibility, and that one towards the first base side, so Krasminski could not get to that one, and the result is 2 runners on with 1 away.
So Arias once again in a little bit of trouble here. This time in the 5th inning. Now a chopper back up the middle. Shoveled to the shortstop. Mosher across the diamond. 4-6-3 double play for the Majors, who get out of the jam in the top of the 5th.
Well, after a seeing eye single there for the Cardinals that allowed them to prolong the inning, a great stroke of luck there for London. Perfectly placed, really, for Gibson Krasminski. Could have taken it to the bag himself if he wanted to, but that's a tough throw, so he elects to flip to Mosher. Mosher, a strong throw to first. Well executed by London to get out of the inning and keep the pitch count down for Jose Arias after a pair of long innings.
So the Majors will see if they can ride off a little bit of that momentum on the double play ball and take it to the bats here in the bottom of the 5th inning here in London. 1-0, the Cardinals holding on to that lead that they got back in the top of the 4th.
Majors need to carry some of that momentum over to the bats. They need to do something with the bats. Their lone hit in the ball game came off the bat of Eduardo De Olio back in the top of the 5th inning, or pardon me, in the bottom of the 4th inning, I should say. A double into the left center field gap. That was followed by a pretty hard hit baseball off the bat of Cleveland Brownlee, but right into the glove of Tyler Duncan out in center. So the Majors still looking for a little bit of luck here against Corbin Peters, and they've not been able to find it. As Peters again going into his routine before the inning where he's throwing from in front and shuffling and going behind the mound a little bit. So clearly that's just what he does no matter the situation every inning, regardless of how long the inning goes.
Hey, whatever it takes to get comfortable and get yourself loose out there on the hill. Seen him working pretty good so far. Now through 4 complete innings and now getting set to work into the 5th.
Yeah, Peters has been efficient, has thrown 50 pitches across 4 innings of work for the Hamilton Cardinals up to this point. He's got a few strikeouts as well, and it feels like everything he's got in his repertoire is going right now. Everything he's got is working. He seems to have a feel for every single one of his pitches, and he's been successful up to this point.
70% strikes so far as well for Peters, which is a massive number. And anytime you're doing that, it seems like you're going to be effective on the hill.
Absolutely. Corbin Peters, when you're filling up the strike zone, when anybody's filling up the strike zone, not just Corbin Peters, they're going to keep the pitch count down. They're going to be successful, and that's been the case here yet again.
So that'll bring Byron Reistein to the plate here for the Majors to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch to Reistein, catches the zone for strike 1. Ready here. Pitch from Peters, just inside. Reistein this time checking with the home plate umpire, making sure that one was as much in as he thought it was. Peters ready on 1-1. Outside edge for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
When I mentioned between innings that it feels like Peters has command of every single pitch, he's also got command of every single part of the plate. Whether he's working on the inside or the outside or the middle, to all of these hitters, he's been successful.
1-2. Just off the outside corner. They set up there. They hit their spot. They did not get the call or the chase.
Reichstein's been very patient this year, and that one just missed the strike zone.
2-2. Reichstein on the ground, second base. A little bit of trouble with it, but the throw from Gravel is in time. And Byron Reichstein is retired for the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning.
Not an overly hard hit baseball there off the bat of Byron towards second base. Gravel had no trouble with it, just shoveled it on over to first for the first out of the frame, and Peters continues to roll along.
So that'll bring Starling Joseph to the plate. 0 for 1 this afternoon. Absolutely no sign of action in either bullpen so far, Dylan.
And why would there be?
Not that you would expect there to be, the way these two have thrown. This one fouled off of the plate by Joseph. Just to go back to that and our points to open up the broadcast, the only reason we would maybe suspect that on the Hamilton side is because we just don't know how far they were willing to work with Corbin Peters today. Was that 4 or 5 innings? Were they just going to let him ride until he told them that he was getting tired, or they could notice that he was getting tired?
Well, he threw 4 innings in his last start on August 4th against the Brantford Red Sox. That's a week ago today exactly. In that contest, he threw only 53 pitches. He's up to 56. Now, he was a key starter for them in the playoffs last year, so I think perhaps they're trying to build him back up to get there again. Unsure what the plan is for the Cardinals.
Joseph popped off his bat and down the line, but it's going to be out of play. Foul ball will move the count to 0-2 now. Hamilton, Dylan, we talked about the busy schedule for London here in the final week. It's a busy week for Hamilton, but after the day, they just have 3 games left in the regular season, so nothing like what London's going to go through in the final 7 days after today is done.
The gauntlet of a schedule that the Majors have.
Curveball well outside, 1-2.
A lot of sharp break on that offering from Peters. There's a game from May 25th against the Guelph Royals that is yet to be made up, that will be made up this week. May 25th, that's how long it's been dragging along, so the Majors still have some games to play.
Swing and a miss there. Gorgeous off-speed pitch from Peters, and there's 2 gone here in the inning.
Another sharp breaking slider from Corbin Peters. That one not quite as far out of the strike zone, was a little bit closer to it. Still way out, but a little bit closer than the previous one was. It was close enough for Joseph to bite, and he gets the strikeout. The second time Joseph has gone down on strikes tonight.
So Caden Cardoso will stroll to the plate here for London with 2 outs on the board already here in the 5th inning. Peters grabs his sign. Here's the delivery. Popped up. Foul territory, and this one's going to be up into the seats, and almost a nice catch made by a fan. Sends a few of the youngsters scrambling down a couple of rows of seats there.
Nice move by that guy, giving it to a young fan.
0-1 here on Cardoso. Up in the zone with the fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Majors just 1 hit so far this afternoon. That came last inning off the bat of Eduardo Deolia. 1-1. Cardoso, and it's going to hit off the glove of Niles and into right field. Cardoso aboard with a 2-out single here. Niles just now getting up off the infield dirt. There's nothing he could do with that hop, Dylan.
Absolutely not. I mean, that one was hit hard to begin with, but it looked like it was going to be a pretty routine ground ball. And all of a sudden it takes this wicked hop on Josh Niles at the very last moment and shoots off his glove into right field. So the result is a 2-out base hit, and the Majors have a little bit of life here in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, see if they can turn something around on that 2-out single on the wicked hop, as you mentioned there, off the glove of Niles. And that'll bring Victor Plaz to the plate here for the Majors. Curveball dropped in there, and it's a strike 1.
Peters has shown no fear in using that curveball. He's done it early in counts, he's done it late in counts, he's done it in the middle of counts. He's got a lot of comfort and confidence in that pitch.
Comes back to it again, tried to sneak it in on the inside, and missed.
Luis Bernardo giving some guidance to Corbin Peters on where he needs to bring that pitch in order for it to be called a strike.
Cardoso, a little bit of a lead there, jumped out to it, now comes back. Plaz hits this one in the air to center field, but it's going to hang up enough for Duncan, who's in there to make the catch and retire the Majors here on the bottom of the 5th inning. The Majors grab a hit, their second of the ball game, but they surround Cardoso at first base. It's a 1-0 Hamilton lead through 5 here at Labatt Park in London.
London, Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.ca.
5 innings in the books here at Labatt Memorial Park. It is a 1-0 Hamilton Cardinals lead over the London Majors, scoring that run back in the top of the 4th inning. A lot of zeros up on that scoreboard in right center field here as we welcome you aboard on Majors TV. Noah Smith alongside Dylan Baker for this afternoon's call. Dylan, and I don't want to take credit for it, but off the top of the broadcast, we said this one had the potential for a great pitcher's duel. It has been that for us through 5 innings.
Absolutely it has been. Corbin Peters and Jose Arias going toe-to-toe. Peters has been absolutely dominant. Arias has been very successful as well, and up to this point, it's lived up to the billing.
Arias ready for his first pitch of the inning, which is up and in, and he falls behind 1-0.
Arias at 67 pitches now after that last offering.
That one in there for strike one. Niles the batter here for Hamilton. 1-1 pitch there for a strike, and the count moves to 1-2 here in favor of Jose Arias. Ready as this one's ripped into left field, and it's going to drop in front of Joseph. Leadoff single here for Josh Niles and the Cardinals to open up the 6th inning.
Josh Niles now 2 for 3 on his day. Starling Joseph playing deep out in left field, respecting the power that Niles has, and he just looped that one in over the shortstop Mosher's head. Was thinking too quickly for an infielder to get there, and the result is a base runner here to kick off the top of the 6th inning.
7th hit so far this afternoon for the Cardinals off Arias. Squaring around a bunt, getting this one down in a good spot. DeOlio. What's the call here? Foul ball by Rob Stevenson, but he wants some help from the rest of the crew. Now, Dylan, I don't know if this is because of where the ball stopped or if he thought that DeOlio maybe got a finger on that.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to be discussing here. Caden Cardoso saying, well, how are those two guys going to see it any better than you did down the line? But your point is a valid one. Perhaps he's discussing whether or not DeOlio touched it.
Yep, they're going to bring him back. Daly laid down a beautiful bunt, but it got up over the lip of that grass, and it was going to roll foul. But DeOlio, he had to be careful not to touch that, because as soon as he lays a finger on it, it changes the complexity there and makes it a fair ball. So he'll have to bring him back. Niles will go back to first base, and it's an 0-1 count.
0-1 counter now. Everybody in the crowd heading to get under some cover here as it's starting to rain a little bit after that last call. But a smart play by DeOlio not touching that baseball. You mentioned it, Noah. I mean, if he does touch that, then all of a sudden the Majors are in a really tough spot. Pretty good bunt off the bat of Daly, and with his speed, nearly beat it out.
And this one down, Arias picks it up, maybe had a shot at 2, rushes to get the out at first base, and the sacrifice works for the Cardinals.
No, I think he definitely had a shot at getting the runner out at second base if he fielded that one cleanly, and I think he was thinking along the same lines. Perhaps the grass already making things a little bit wet and the rain coming down made it a tough play for Jose Arias. Tried to spin and throw it to second, but was unable to do so cleanly, so just executed a throw to first and got the first out.
Just a little bit of a small system moving over London right now. Arias, this one popped up sky high. Left center field coming over Joseph and Lawrence. It's Joseph to make the catch for the second out.
That one hit high in the air, but not very deep, and the outfielders were shaded in. Lawrence and Joseph were both playing Gravel relatively shallow, which made that a routine play. If they're playing deep, it's all of a sudden a much tougher one, but they had lots of time to get there, and they were already playing in to begin with.
And now the entire Majors infield is going to come out to the mound. And Dylan, your guess is as good as mine.
My only thought is Stephen Whalen's 2 for 2 today. And Majors manager Roop Chanadad wants to talk things over with Jose Arias. I mean, nobody's loosening in the bullpen, so it certainly wasn't going to be a pitching change.
And now they are going to put Stephen Whalen aboard. They do not want to face him with the runner in scoring position at second, so that's a quick at-bat for Whalen.
That may have been Roop coming out to either ask their thoughts on putting him on with the intentional walk or tell them the rationale for putting him on with the intentional walk.
They would much rather face Evan Simons here with 2 outs, so they make the move to do so.
Simons is 0 for 2 with a line out and a strikeout. Whalen, by comparison, is 2 for 2 with 2 hard hit balls.
And he's driven in the only run of the ball game as well. They tried to make sure he couldn't make it 2-0. Simons fouls that one off the shin pads of DeOlio. Dylan, it looked again on that play that Niles had a pretty good jump at second base. He was hopping around at least a little bit there. Looked like he was trying to time up the delivery of the plate of Jose Arias.
Yeah, he had a huge jump just like Daly did earlier on in the ball game, and he stopped. If he hadn't stopped, I think he would have had third base stolen. DeOlio was going to try a snap throw to second, which is why that foul ball caught him in a tough spot.
Comes set is Arias on the hill. You can get a look at the lead of Niles out there again. You can see him running around. This time it's a pick move to 2. He's back in there safely.
Niles was able to read that Arias was going to come over on that last pickoff play. Had he been a little bit more mysterious about it, perhaps they get him.
Arias now peeks back at second. Line kick, delivery. In there for strike 2. Simons in a big hole at the plate, trying to come up with a big 2-out hit here for the Cardinals. Arias delivers. In the dirt, DeOlio with the block, and he keeps everybody where they are.
DeOlio with a good block on that one. Kept it in front of him. If he blocked it, got a piece, and it shot off to the side or behind him, you may have seen Niles move up. But because it was in front of DeOlio and he tracked it all the way, Niles, no thoughts of moving up.
Fans trying to cheer along here for Arias, looking to work through the 6th inning. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Now he goes to the plate. This one chopped but foul.
It's pitch number 76 for Jose Arias on that foul ball. It's getting up there, his pitch count through 5 2/3 innings. Not in a terrible spot by any means, just certainly elevating at a rapid rate.
Arias looks, and here's the 1-2. Outside again, DeOlio in front of it, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Simon's doing a good job working this at bat. He's certainly not a pushover at the plate. He's making it tough on Jose Arias right now.
Whalen is at first base. He was intentionally walked to get to Simons. Niles at second. And the batter Simons, as Jose Arias will now get time. I think that was DeOlio who called it. As they wait to get on the same page here. Ready to go once more. Arias comes set. Runner goes to third. Delivery is low, and taking it easily is Niles without a throw.
Josh Niles had been timing up Jose Arias that whole at bat and was able to swipe third pretty easily over there, and now the count runs full on Simons.
So full count will put Whalen in motion over at first base. Niles at third after the stolen base. Here's the 3-2 delivery to Simons. Chopped foul. And this has turned into a pretty good at-bat here.
You know that Simons wants to prove he should not have been intentionally, or pardon me, that Whalen should not have been intentionally walked to face him. He's 0 for 2 on the day, but he's trying to do some damage right now, score one. If he puts one in the gap with the head start that Whalen's getting at first base, there's a good chance it scores two.
Another delivery, another 3-2 pitch. There goes the runner. It's outside, gets away from DeOlio, and into score comes Niles. Runner going to third, the throw, in time to get him. Whalen thought about picking up an extra 90 feet, and DeOlio throws him out. The run will score, and it is a 2-0 Cardinals lead.
Well, you get out of that inning right there for the Majors with Simons at the plate, but that is not exactly what the Majors were hoping for. A run comes in to score, and the Cardinals now extend the lead to 2-0.
So the London Majors will look to try and fight back from this deficit, Dylan. The offense has been quiet all afternoon long against some really good pitching by Corbin Peters from the Cardinals, selling to just 2 hits.
Corbin Peters been a tough nut to crack for the Majors offense. You mentioned it, Noah. 2 hits through 5 innings at the plate and has shown no signs of slowing up at all. He's looked stellar out there and trying to keep it up. I mean, he's only at 65 pitches through 5 innings. His pitch count's in a terrific spot. As long as they're willing to let him get up towards that 100-pitch plateau, he may complete this game at the rate he's going.
Certainly Cardinals hoping that could be the case. There is no action still in either bullpen. The Majors, they still got the tarp on their bullpen down the third baseline.
Well, they put it back on
they did.
With the rain. So it did come off at one point.
Put it back on with the rain, and you can see on your screen there, that rain didn't last long. Sun is peeking back out, and some more of the fans migrate back out to those bleacher seats down the lines.
You were on it from the jump, Noah. You mentioned it was a small little system that was passing through, and all your meteorology skills came up clutch for us there.
Well, our producer Keegan up here told me we might see some rain throughout the course of the broadcast today. And I said, rain really today? I didn't think we were supposed to get any rain. And he said, it's not much, but we might see it. So here's our plan for the camera placements and, some other technical stuff that I won't bore you with on the air. But I didn't think we were supposed to see any rain at all today. And you can kind of see on that shot there, that wide shot we have, some of the dark clouds over downtown London right now. It's not much. That's all that was producing the rain, and it's kind of pushed its way a little bit towards the southeast end of the city. One more final around the Intercounty Baseball League today, and I think that's the last game that was still ongoing. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers, an extra innings thriller at Fergie Jenkins Field. They win it 7-6 over the Guelph Royals, so that helps the Majors out a little bit in that battle against the Royals, but they're going to need to get things figured out here at Labatt Park if they want to make anything come of that loss for the Royals today.
Absolutely. The Majors would love to pick up a game on the Guelph Royals if possible. They came in today tied, I believe, and if the Majors lose, they will leave tied as well. They'll play the Royals 3 times consecutively this week, so there'll be lots of opportunities to try to take the Guelph Royals down for the London Majors.
Wednesday night at Hastings, Friday night here at Labatt, then Saturday at Hastings. Majors will finish off the regular season against Kitchener. But aside from that, it's a whole lot of Guelph and a whole lot of Hamilton here in the final week. First pitch is inside to Ty Mosher to open up the bottom of the 6th inning here for London. Rips one, and that one's going to get into right field. Gravel got over there, but by the time he got to where the ball was, it took a low hop, got underneath his glove, and it's a leadoff single for the Majors here in inning number 6.
Well-placed base hit there by Ty Mosher. Lucked out a little bit in the fact that Gravel was expecting it to take a high hop, kept the glove up there, and it just went right underneath the glove of his, and that allows Mosher to reach exactly what the Majors need. They need a leadoff base runner, and they hope that they can continue, or they can start something, I should say. Nobody out. It's the best chance they've had, really. I think all the base runners that have been on have come with 1 or 2 outs. Not the case here.
So the Majors will turn it back over to the top of the lineup here with a leadoff man on. That one will miss. First time the Majors all afternoon have had the leadoff man on. And we'll see if they can make something happen with Mosher aboard.
Cardinals are expecting a potential bunt. Whalen playing in over at third.
Not squaring around Kuzminski. That one misses outside. 2-0 now. And this for the Majors is where your big bats have to be big. Inside to Kuzminski, 3-0.
Hitters count here for Gibson Kuzminski. I think he gets the take sign right here because the Majors need another base runner. If they get 2 on, you can bet Drew Lawrence is going to be bunting to put the tying run into scoring position. I think that's the ideal scenario for the Majors.
In there for strike 1. Fans don't get their wish on ball 4. Kuzminski will get set to face another pitch here. Ready as Piers grabs his sign from Bernardo behind the dish. Kuzminski over to 1, picked up, throw to 2, back to 1, throw goes wide and stays in play thanks to that netting out front of the dugout.
Well,
chance to turn 2 there that got thrown away by the Cardinals.
Not ideal, but not the worst case scenario there for the London Majors. They obviously did not want to concede an out, but they lock out in the sense that that throw from Calvin DeCastro was nowhere really close to Josh Niles over at first base and went towards the Hamilton dugout. So Kuzminski and Mosher trade places.
Peters ready to face Lawrence here. 1 out. That's Kuzminski standing at first. Pitch to Lawrence, misses up and out. 1-0.
Mentioned that if Kuzminski and Mosher were both on, Drew Lawrence is going to be bunting, but the Majors aren't playing for 1 run here. They're playing for 2. So unless Lawrence is bunting for a base hit, I don't think we see him lay one down.
Here's the 1-0. Just missing low. And Peters will have to fight back again here in this count. 2-0.
A little bit of stirring in the Hamilton bullpen now. The next pitch will be pitch number 75 for Corbin Peters. That'd be his highest pitch total this season.
The 2-0 delivery. Lawrence fights it off and fouls it back into the screen. Deolio on deck for the Majors. Had a screaming double earlier on today. Two-one count to Drew Lawrence at the dish. There goes the runner. Drew fouls it off into the screen, and Kuzminski will have to go back to 1.
Hit and run on there for the Majors. Not a bad pair of guys to do it with. Kuzminski pretty good speed over at first base. Lawrence can put the ball in play and put it to the right side as well if he intends to do so. Just unfortunately for the Majors, did not work out.
Pitch was just a little bit too off the plate for Lawrence to really do anything with. The foul back to the screen was probably him doing about as much as he can, and now there's a... Not sure what was going on here at the plate.
A dispute about the count,
maybe?
About
the count, yeah. I believe we both have 2-1 up here in the booth. 2-2, pardon me. That one will miss outside.
I believe
3 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Yes, that's what the dispute was. Scoreboard wasn't showing correctly. I don't think we had it right on our scoreboard either, but everybody okay? Now a full count pitch. Does Krzminski go here? Certainly looking like he wants to. He does. This one fouled off by Lawrence again.
Bernardo got disoriented a little bit on that foul ball. Krzminski had a great jump. He was inching and inching and inching, and Peters did not even look over at him, so he got moving. And unfortunately for the Majors, the foul ball forces him to return back to first. But in that spot, you want Lawrence protecting with 2 strikes.
Only option he had really was to protect there. Pitch number 79 here for Peters. The 3-2. Lawrence hits it the other way and into right field. Krzminski was off, and he'll be into third base going first to third. And the Majors have a runner 90 feet away from scoring with 1 out here in the 6th.
Well, we mentioned that Drew Lawrence is the kind of guy you like to hit and run with. This combination, Krzminski on base and Lawrence at the plate. Drew Lawrence goes the other way with it, puts it into right field, which allows Gibson Krzminski to move up 180 feet to third base and puts runners on the corners with 1 away and forces a mound visit here for the Cardinals.
So the first mound visit for Corbin Peters today. With the 2-0 lead in danger, and Dylan, that first mound visit is going to result in our first pitching change of the day. The Cardinals are going to go to the bullpen. We'll bring you who that is here first after this here on Majors TV.
Hi, my name is Jess, and I'm a lane coach at Throw London. We'd love for you to join us with your friends or family for an axe throwing or knife throwing event. Come on down, throw sharp stuff, have a drink. We'd love to have you.
I think this team has the potential to win another championship.
All the boys have talked about it in the clubhouse, getting that 3-peat, you know.
You guys can win. You guys can win.
In London, Ontario, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Now through Labor Day, book your guided tour and walk the same field as Ty Cobb, Fergie Jenkins, Honus Wagner, and some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts from over the years inside the original 1940 clubhouse. Experience baseball history in London, Ontario. Book your guided tour at labattparktours.ca.
The Hamilton Cardinals have gone to the bullpen. This pitching change brought to you by Throw, London's original knife throwing. Chris Boato is out of the bullpen here for the Cardinals. 2-0 lead. Maybe in a little bit of danger here for the first time here in the bottom of inning number 6.
Yeah, Chris Boato, since coming over to the Hamilton Cardinals around the transaction deadline, has appeared in 3 games, 5 innings, 3 strikeouts, has yet to walk a batter, and has surrendered 5 hits. Curious decision to bring Boato in this spot with Eduardo Deolio and Cleveland Brownlee, the next 2 batters due up. 2 power-hitting right-handed bats. The next lefty in the order is Byron Reichstein, batting 5th. So we'll see how Boato fares against a couple of guys who know how to mash lefties.
First and third for the Majors with 1 out. First pitch from Boato is inside to Deolio.
Boato last worked on August 2nd. That was the last time these two teams faced off. Just through a third of an inning. Faced 1 batter, got an out. His last more extended outing was 2 innings against the Brantford Red Sox on July 28th. 2 scoreless, allowed 2 hits and struck out 2.
1-0 here on DeOlio. Inside to him here. 2-0.
Chris Boato, of course, spent a lot of time with the Welland Jackfish. Was a Jackfish, I believe, from the beginning back in 2019 all the way through until this season.
Into the game here in a tough spot. You mentioned it's DeOlio, Brownlee, 2 righties right away to face him before Reistein, the lefty. But then it's Starling Joseph after that. This one hit on the ground hard, and it gets through at third base. Under the glove of Whalen, into score Kurzminski, and the Majors are on the board here in the 6th inning.
That one hit hard off the bat of Eduardo DeOlio and too hot to handle for Stephen Whalen, not necessarily because of how hard it was hit, but because he got ahead of himself. He was thinking about the double play that they could turn. He brought his hands up trying to make that throw to second. The ball goes right underneath his glove, and the result is a base runner over at first and second and a run across the scoreboard for the Majors.
Well, DeOlio, all he had to do was hit it hard. Whalen didn't get the glove down. And now the Majors in a good spot here. Tying run out at second base here in inning number 6.
These two guys have faced each other a lot. Brownlee and Boato, 2 IBL veterans. Former teammates, I believe, as well.
First pitch will miss low. Boato not overpowering on the hill from the left side. Sometimes, though, that can work to your advantage. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Brownlee fouls it back. He was out in front of that one, I think, as well.
Wanted that one pretty badly, Cleveland did. Was way out in front of that last pitch. Boato and Brownlee teammates in the 2017 London Majors. Boato spent 2018 to 2024 with the Welland Jackfish. Appeared in 101 games prior to coming to Hamilton, now 104 in his IBL career. Brownlee, of course, in the IBL since 2010 or 2011, I believe, Noah. So 2 guys who've been around a while.
A lot of IBL experience here. 1-1 to Brownlee. Inside, and it hit him.
Or did it hit the bat?
Did it? No, is that a foul ball? It is. Brownlee looked frustrated, and I thought he might have been upset that it hit him, but it's because it hit his bat.
And he immediately turned to Ruth Chanardad, the Majors manager, over at third and said, no, it hit my bat. It's a foul ball. So tough luck there for Brownlee and the Majors.
1-2 the count here after that one fouled off the bat of Brownlee. Now Boato looking for the put-away pitch. Here is the 1-2 delivery. Brownlee in the air to left field, tracking back towards the wall. This one's going to bang up against the fence and left. In to score is Lawrence. DeOlio held at third. Brownlee into second base. It's an RBI double in a tie ball game.
Cleveland Brownlee continuing the tear he has been on as of late. He seems to have found his swing again, putting baseballs to the fence with ease right there. A game-tying double, driving home the speedy Drew Lawrence from second. DeOlio moves up to third. A huge swing from Brownlee, and the puzzling decision to go to the lefty with 2 power-hitting righties coming up. Well, it proves to be costly for the Cardinals. 2 runs come in to score.
All right, now another, what I would consider interesting decision here. They're going to bring the infield in. They want to try and cut down these runs in just the 6th inning. Still 3 more trips to the plate here for the Cardinals. 9 outs to work with for them, but they want to try and keep this score where it is.
With the way Arias is pitching, I do kind of understand this move here, trying to limit where the Majors can score.
Reistein fouls one off, and it's 0-2 quickly here. DeOlio at third, Brownlee at second. They've both got the Majors into this spot here in a tie ball game at 2. And now Boato, who's looking to try and put away Reichstein. Way up in the count, 0-2. Here's the delivery. Outside, go to hold by Byron.
A good take there by Byron Reichstein. Good sweeping action on that pitch, heading towards the outside part of the plate, just off, and Byron doesn't chase.
Just missing again. 2-2 now to Reichstein as Boato takes a little bit of an extended walk here out at the mound.
Perhaps thinking over what his next offering will be. That one swept once again too far off the plate outside.
A little bit more of a buzz in the crowd here at Labatt Park. 2 runs across already here in this inning. Have tied the game at 2. Here's the pitch to Reichstein. Low for ball 3.
Well, he got ahead of Reichstein quickly, 0-2, and ever since has struggled to find the strike zone. Missed twice in nearly identical spots. That one missing low to Byron. He's done a good job laying off the put-away pitches. We'll see what Boato elects to come with here.
Base open over at first base. But another big power threat right-handed bat on deck in Starling Joseph. 3-2. Reichstein in the air to center field. Shielding his eyes from the sun is Duncan. Back out towards the warning track. Makes the catch. DeOlio tags and scores. And the Majors out in front, 3-2.
Byron Reichstein gave that one a pretty good ride to the deepest part of the ballpark out in center field. Tyler Duncan did a great job just tracking that baseball down, hauling it in center. A sacrifice fly for Byron Reichstein. Comes up clutch when the Majors need him. Pushes the go-ahead run across, and London leads.
And Starling Joseph now ready to swing for London with Brownlee out at second. Now 2 outs after the sacrifice fly off the bat of Reichstein. Boato trying to keep this score where it is, and the deficit now at 1. Doesn't want it to grow anymore as a huge swing there from Joseph, and it's 0-1.
Starling Joseph 0 for 2 coming into this at-bat. Both of those at-bats coming against Corbin Peters. 2 strikeouts on the day. Joseph can't be over-eager here. He knows that Boato's a guy he's hit before, but has to settle in and relax.
On the ground. Picked up by the shortstop. DeCastro across the diamond in time to get Joseph. The Majors score 3 here in the bottom of inning number 6 and have taken the lead for the first time this afternoon. It is a 3-2 London Majors lead through 6 at the ballpark. 7th inning coming up next here on Majors TV.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
For prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Well, it's not unusual to see Jose Arias pitching this way for the London Majors. The right-hander having a stellar start once again, and the offense backing him up in that last inning, finally breaking through on the scoreboard.
Well, Dylan, as a pitcher, that is a sigh of relief for Jose Arias, who's been throwing so well. 2 runs, 7 hits through 6 innings. Not exactly his best start of his career, but he did a good job at keeping the Majors in this game long enough to get the bats finally around, and they did that in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 runs for London there, and they are finally in the lead. 3-2 as we head to inning number 7 here at Labatt Park.
It'll be the top of the order here for the Hamilton Cardinals. Raquelbin DeCastro will lead things off, followed by Luis Bernardo and Tyler Duncan against Jose Arias. This part of the order has given Arias some trouble so far in the ball game, though DeCastro 0 for 3. First pitch breaking ball, misses for ball 1.
Hamilton, who has been consistently getting runners aboard here. Well, now for the first time this afternoon, they're looking up at a deficit. They are trailing by a run now here as they work into their final 3 innings at the plate.
Shadows starting to play a factor as well between the pitcher's mound and home plate. Action in the Majors bullpen. Arias about to throw pitch number 83. DeCastro scorches that one down the line. It is a foul ball.
Yeah, those shadows, Dylan, awfully interesting because we don't play a whole lot of 4:05 first pitches here at Labatt Park. 1 o'clock starts, of course, the 7:35 starts. This one's a little bit different.
1-2 home. Did he go? No, says the first base umpire, James Deacon. So DeCastro able to hold back, and the count now runs to 2-2.
All right, so back to that note about the shadows. This is kind of just after 6 o'clock. Shadows is a little bit different than what we normally see. So about an hour and a half away from a usual night start time, and well complete on a 1 o'clock start time by 6 o'clock.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Arias on its way. That one on the ground towards shortstop. Going to be a tough play for Mosher. Charging hard on the run, throw to first. In time to get to Castro. A close play over at the first base bag, and there's one gone.
Yes, close all right there. And to Castro, a little bit of a jump after he got past the bag. He thought that he had beat that one out. And I'll tell you what, it was awfully close. Our vantage point here won't lead us to anything that would say otherwise. But little to no argument, and one down here to start the 7th inning.
Luis Bernardo will step into the batter's box now for the Hamilton Cardinals. The catcher is 1 for 3 today. A ground out, a single, and a reach on error. That one's there for a strike, 0-1. See Skylar Janice on your screen, loosening up in the Majors bullpen with those yellow cleats.
First time this afternoon that someone has began to throw down in the Majors bullpen.
That one misses for ball 1, 1-1. DeOlio shaken up a little bit.
I think that one got maybe off the inside of the shin on the foul ball.
Into the windup, Rocks Arias. Here's the 1-1 home. That's there for a strike. It's 1-2.
Velo hasn't changed a whole lot here for Arias as he works into the 7th inning of work. Still getting it up there. He found that corner with ease.
The 1-2 home. Just off the plate outside. DeOlio thought he had strike 3, and the count now at 2-2.
We'll have a quick ask of home plate umpire Rob Stevenson. Maybe an apology as well for the quick walk for the throwdown.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, golfed into left field for a base hit. So Bernardo's aboard for the 3rd time today, his 2nd hit of the afternoon, and the Cardinals have a 1-out base runner.
Not the location where Arias and DeOlio wanted that breaking ball to be. It held up a little bit. About 2-3 inches higher than they were expecting. And as you mentioned, that's enough height for Bernardo to be able to golf it into left and a 1-out single.
So a slight change in the Majors bullpen right now. Scotto Janice has sat back down, and Victor Payano has gotten up to get loose. First pitch from Arias to Tyler Duncan is hit pretty well to left field. Starling Joseph a couple of steps and straight away left will make the catch, and there's 2 gone.
Joseph was ranging back there, and that sun, I think, worse for the outfielders right now, the way it is. Had to shield his eyes there, makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Dennis DeBenning into the batter's box looking for his first hit of the day. 0 for 3 up to this point. Arias at 91 pitches through 6 2/3. Here's the offering. That's there for a strike, 0-1.
Not warming up with a whole lot of pace right now, Payano, but maybe they are expecting Arias to get through this inning and maybe give Payano a clean inning to start with in the 8th.
That's there for a strike. It's 0-2.
Of course, on that note, Arias now, that pitch number 93 on the afternoon. Not out of the equation that we would see him go back out for the 8th inning.
0-2 count, 2 out. Trying to put away DeBenning here. Off the plate outside, DeOlio thought it might have been strike 3, but that one I think a little bit too far out, and it's 1-2.
DeOlio now 2 times in this inning where he's gotten, I think, a little bit ahead of himself. That one, even from up here, looked like it might have been low and away.
The highest the pitch count has been this season for Arias was 107 pitches on July 17th against Brantford. At 95 right here, the 1-2 home in the dirt. DeBenning doesn't bite, and so it's 2-2.
DeOlio will take this one a couple more steps out there before giving it back to Arias. Has some words of encouragement there and a game plan here on this 2-2 pitch.
2-2, 2 out. 3-2 ball game. Majors in the lead. Luis Bernardo stands over at first base after his second single of the day. Dennis DeBenning in the batter's box. Jose Arias trying to end the inning right here. The 2-2 home. Line straight back at the backstop, and we'll try again on 2-2.
Well, I'll tell you what, DeBenning is putting up a pretty good at-bat at the plate here. Battling against Jose Arias and keeping this at-bat and inning alive. They're ready to face another 2-strike pitch here on 2-2.
Right-hander sets. Kicks and deals. Called strike 3. The tag is applied by DeBenning, and that will do it for the top of the 7th inning. Dennis DeBenning pleading his case to the home plate umpire, and that will end the frame.
Oh, and I don't know what's going on here at home plate. See if we can stick with it here. I don't know what this argument would be about, Dylan. I really don't. But he is.
It's pretty intense.
It is.
Considering we don't know what it's for.
When he first came out to Rob Stevenson, it was a point out towards what looked like, I don't know, maybe the second base area. And now I don't think there was anything that happened in that vicinity in the inning that would have garnered that. But everybody is back to their dugouts here, and the strikeout has ended the inning and sends us into the bottom of the 7th inning. Stretch time here at Labatt Park.
So at some point here tonight, Noah, the Majors are giving away a bike.
They are, yes.
Good transition by me there. The Majors are giving away a bike. Do you know how it works? Because I don't know how it works, but I've never seen a bike giveaway at the ballpark. I don't know if they just gave it away.
Did they? I was just, Curtis Hiscox is down there. He's the gentleman that handles all the on-field relations, and he's still got the bike in his possession. I don't think they've given it away yet.
It's some kind of partnership with McDonald's, and they're giving away a bike, and I don't know. The bike's down by the field. They just took it off the field. I don't know if that was a promo or if they gave it away. We might have just missed it.
One last promo? I don't know. Good look at some of the crowd here at Labatt Park. A well-attended Sunday afternoon game. Dylan, second to last home game of the regular season for the London Majors. I had mentioned it in Roop's report earlier today. London has clinched home field in the first round of the playoffs. They are going to finish in top 4. Now they'll just wait and see who they get to face in round 1.
Yeah, the Majors can reach anywhere from second to 4th right now. They cannot be any lower than 4th, and they can't be any higher than second, with the Welland Jackfish clinching the IBL pennant here today. So we'll see where the Majors fall in place. They could get a slew of teams, but in all likelihood, it'll be one of Hamilton or Chatham in the first round.
I know there was a lot of fans and folks that I talked to prior to the game, Dylan, that would love a London Chatham first round.
Nice and close. Majors were undefeated against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers this season. Trying to take this game here against the Hamilton Cardinals, pick up a game on Guelph and gain a game on the Barrie Baycats. If they can hold on for the victory. Caden Cardoso into the batter's box to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning against Chris Boato. Waves at that first pitch and comes up empty as London looks to add some insurance.
Moving into this late innings of this ball game here, and London finally out in front of the lead.
0-1 breaking ball. That finds the zone, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, with the loss for Barrie earlier on today, a chance for London to pick up some games on the competition.
0-2 home. Cardoso gives this one a ride to right field. Got me a little excited there. It's right into the glove of the right fielder, Dennis DeBenning.
Gave it a pretty good rip, but I think he just got underneath that one and missed it. Otherwise, he may have scorched another one here on the weekend.
Victor Pla is now stepping into the batter's box. My apologies there. DeBenning hardly got to move in right field.
A little excitement never hurt anybody, Dylan.
Plaus is 0 for 2 on the day as he steps in for the 3rd time.
On a little bit of a side note, Victor Payano continues to throw down in the Majors bullpen. I imagine, Dylan, that we might see him in the 8th inning.
Looks that way. Arias with the pitch count a little bit elevated right now. I don't think he's at the point where it's far enough from 100 that he'll start an inning. He finished at 97 after the top of the 7th. The 1-0. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes here to Plaus. Into the windup, Boato. Here's the pitch. Plaus gives this one a ride to right center, but Tyler Duncan will not be able to get there. It drops in, and it's a base hit for Victor Plaus, a 1-out single.
That ball just kept on trailing away from Duncan in center field. And Plaus is aboard with a 1-out single, as you mentioned there. And Ty Mosher will come to the plate.
So Ty Mosher digs into the batter's box, 1 for 2. Here's the pitch to Mosher. That one will miss high for ball 1. We're told there's a defensive change here for the Cardinals. Callum Blue coming in for the Cardinals in the place of Stephen Whalen playing first base. And Josh Niles slides over to third as that one's cut on and missed by Mosher, 1-1.
We are also being told, unrelated to the on the field action, that it was a random fan draw for the bike tell. So slightly less exciting, not a skill testing question or a water balloon toss or anything like that. Just a random draw.
Well, we had the idea of doing a beat the freeze type deal.
Yeah, you have to race the bike around the warning track against some member of the Majors on foot and see if you can win.
Boato throws over to first. Pla's back standing. Probably Drew Lawrence would be the guy you'd think, the fastest guy for the Majors.
Maybe give him a little bit of a head start.
Yeah.
Not much.
No.
Listen, you give me a bike, and I think Drew might still beat me around the outfield fence.
1-2 on its way to Mosher. Breaking ball, hit on the ground towards second base. Tough hop there for Gravel. Goes to second for one, but they've got no shot at getting the double play. And there's 2 gone now in the bottom of the 7th.
Really slow to develop there, and I don't think Gravel had a shot at all to turn 2. Does go to 2 and get the lead runner. But DeCastro on the back end of that double play, even if he threw it, I don't think they had a shot at Mosher coming down the line.
So Gibson Krasminski into the batter's box now for the Majors. 0 for 3 on the day. 2 ground outs and a fielder's choice. Majors up by a run after their 3-run bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch from Boato. Krasminski on the ground down the third baseline, right into the hands of Majors manager Roop Chanderdat. 0-1.
Looked awfully comfortable fielding that ground ball, did Roop.
If you're a coach, there's a lot of pressure to field those ground balls well. Because if you get back into the dugout after missing one, you're going to get some ribbon.
You will hear it. You will hear it. Some movement down in the Hamilton bullpen. A good shot at that on our Game Day London mobile cam.
Here's the 0-1. That's there for a strike. 0-2. Being told it's Corey Connor loosening in the Hamilton bullpen.
Hoping Boato can get him through this bottom of the 7th inning.
Here's the pitch, up and in to Krasminski, and it's 1-2.
Few different options to go to here on 2 strikes. Was up 0-2. Tried the high heat. We'll see if they switch the speed and location here on 1-2.
The 1-2 home from the lefty. On the ground towards shortstop. Waiting back on it to Castro. Flip to second, and that will do it for the bottom of the 7th inning. Majors strand a base runner. They lead 3-2 after 7 on Majors TV.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
Back here on Majors TV for the top of the 8th inning. A new arm into the ball game, Noah, for London. It is the big lefty, Victor Payano.
Yeah, the Majors going to Victor Payano here in this top of the 8th inning. The Majors have gotten themselves out into a lead now. 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning allows them to go to Payano here after a fantastic start from Jose Arias. Payano 5-3 record. 16 games so far this season, has started in 9 of those so far in 64 innings pitched. He has struck out 87 batters, so we'll keep an eye on that here in this 8th inning of work.
Payano also with 3 saves on the year, taking over for Jose Arias, who all in all, despite a pretty elevated hit count, had a successful outing.
Yeah, really good for him today. I mean, he gave up 8 hits so far in the contest. 2 runs, but never really what I would call, Dylan, in danger or in trouble. He was in control throughout his entire start of 7 innings, and he leaves with the win in his hands so far if the Majors can hold on to this here this afternoon.
Does not have an easy task at hand. We'll have to deal with Josh Niles, Brandon Daly, and Cam Gravel in this Hamilton Cardinals order. Niles is 2 for 3. Daly's been on once, is 0 for 1, has a sacrifice bunt in addition to that, and then Gravel has walked, struck out, and flown out as Niles steps into the batter's box. Payano got the save on Friday night against the Barrie Bay Cats, worked the 9th inning after a good start from Travis Keys and a good 8th from Skylar Janice. You'd imagine Payano gets asked to work 2 innings here. First pitch to Niles. Skied in the air and well foul, 0-1.
There's the bang, Dylan.
I didn't think
scared?
it was. I did get scared. Yes,
did.
you saw me jump. You just wanted me to say it on the air. I didn't think it was coming towards us. I thought it was going to be way over us.
It was about a half second later than I thought it was going to be, and that was a half second for you to take your guard down.
2 games in a row I've been scared by a foul ball. At least I wasn't talking this time. 0-1. Off the plate, it is 1-1.
What surprises me more is that you're now into your, 5th season here with the Majors,
6th.
and those still scare you?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Oh,
I was pretty good up until this weekend, actually.
Really?
Honestly, I hadn't been scared by one until Friday. 1-1 is there for a strike, 1-2.
Well, I'll just leave it at that then. I won't bring it up anymore.
1-2, nobody out as Josh Niles leads off this top of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch from Payano. In the dirt. Ooh, that one caught DeOlio in an awkward spot.
He's going to take a little bit of a stroll here, Dylan.
Caught him on the rib cage, I think.
Slider well in the dirt, bounced well out in front of home plate, and I think it actually got around the chest protector of DeOlio, or he's actually shaking his right hand. I don't know if that got him on the throwing hand or not.
I think that'd be worse than getting it off the rib cage there, just in terms of potential danger of injury. 2-2 count here to Niles. Here's the pitch from Payano. That one's low. It's 3-2.
Well, Payano having to work at a full count here after a few straight wide ones.
Full count to lead off this 8th inning. Here's the delivery to Niles. Inside, ball 4. Payano can't believe it wasn't strike 3. He really thought he had the call there.
Just missed on the inside edge there, and you know what? I think he almost had the corner, but he had a few chances there. Find strike 3, couldn't get it.
So Brandon Daly into the batter's box, 0 for 1 today. As mentioned, it's a walk and a sacrifice bunt in his 2 other plate appearances. Josh Niles standing over at first. We may see him sacrifice again. Squares around, pops this one up. It's well foul, 0-1.
Mentioned the 64 innings pitched for Payano this season. 2nd straight game that he's going to come for the Majors out of the bullpen. Through a scoreless inning on Friday night.
Oh, 0-1 home. Squaring around a bunt is Daly, and he just misses that one, so it's 0-2.
That was his chance there to get one down. I don't know if they'll go back to it on 0-2 here. Although with the leadoff man at board, you would have loved nothing but to get him over there on a sacrifice.
0-2 here. Niles standing over at second, or pardon me, at first. Here's the pitch. He'll square around again on 0-2, bunts it foul, and that'll be strike 3.
Well, that is the danger, of course, of bunting on 2 strikes. If you foul it off, you're out. But, I said it, and I think the Cardinals, they really, statistically speaking, if they went through the numbers, trying to get that bunt down a second time or a third time on 0-2 was probably the best call. And he just could not do it, could not complete the job, and now there's one out.
Not easy against a guy like Payano who's got so much velocity as Cam Gravel digs into the batter's box. Payano will throw over to first base, back easily as Niles.
No, never easy, but it is something that gets practiced a lot, and it's for a reason. When you need it done You've only got a couple of chances to do it.
Niles leaning over at first base, not running. Gravel sends this one to center field. Drew Lawrence going back, and he will rein this one in center for the second out.
Gravel gave that one a pretty good ride. Lawrence wasn't necessarily playing in, but with Gravel at the plate, they were playing at least straight up, and he had to range way back and to his left to make that catch for the second out.
So Callum Blue into the batter's box now, took over in the spot of Stephen Whalen, and shifted over to first base with Niles shifting over to third. So he'll face Victor Payano here. Blue listed as a pitcher for the Hamilton Cardinals. Breaking ball from Payano in there for a strike, 0-1.
Tough spot here against a very good lefty for the Majors.
Blue has had 4 at-bats for Hamilton this year, has yet to record a hit as he waves at that breaking ball and comes up empty. It's 0-2. Two out. Payano peeks over at Niles, trying to end the top of the 8th inning. Here's the offering. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Victor Payano strikes out Callum Blue to end the top of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom half. Majors still leading 3-2.
Great inning of work there from Victor Payano as he strikes out Callum Blue for the third out. And now the Majors heading to the bats in the bottom of the 8th. They'll look for some insurance here, Dylan. 1-run lead, not the nicest lead to head into the 9th with, but the way this game started, they'll certainly take it here, heading into the bottom half of inning number 8.
New arm on the mound here for the Hamilton Cardinals as we kick off the bottom of the 8th inning. It is Connor Corey.
As we had heard that the move was going to be made a half inning ago, and Connor Corey will take over here for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 8th inning.
So Corey taking over for Boato.
So far this season with the Cardinals, 12 games, all of those have come out of the bullpen. 16 2/3 inning, has struck out 17 batters, walked 6 and allowed 18 hits with an ERA sitting at 4.86. Last worked August the 2nd against the Majors in a 6-5 loss.
Majors will send up 2, 3, and 4 in their order. Drew Lawrence, Eduardo DeOlio, Cleveland Brownlee, the part of their order that got them the 3 runs back in the 6th.
Yeah, it's a big part of their order, and they're going to hope that they can maybe, like I said, add on, give them an insurance run here heading into the top of the 9th inning as they look to close out this weekend with a win. Here's a look at Drew Lawrence, ready to go here.
We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our fantastic food sponsor through Thick and Thin Pizza for providing us with a couple or 3 delicious pizzas. Today, a couple pepperonis, a cheese. It's so good, Noah.
It really is.
I was telling some people about that yesterday. We are so lucky to have Through Thick and Thin Pizza provide food for us all season long because it is probably the best pizza in London.
I have had a couple of people say, you get Through Thick and Thin Pizza at the Majors games. Like, that stuff is, like, almost renowned in London, you know? It's like,
people know it.
People know it, and they know it is good pizza. So we appreciate them being on board with us here for Majors TV here in this 2024 season. Make sure that you, if you get the chance, head on down and check out Through Thick and Thin Pizza down on Rideout Street.
And tell them the Majors sent you, as Drew Lawrence will step into the batter's box to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. Fouls that one off. It's 0-1.
Big spot here for the Majors, bottom of the 8th inning. Look to try and add on to this lead. If Payano does go back out, they'll look to give him an extra run to work with in the 9th.
0-1, chopped up the middle. Going to be a tough play with the speed of Lawrence. DeCastro across his body. Not in time at first. Drew Lawrence beats it out. It's an infield single.
That was going to be a tough play for DeCastro with anybody running, let alone Drew Lawrence getting down the line as quick as he does. And he still almost got him. He was not too far off, just didn't have enough on the throw. And it will be a leadoff hit here for the Majors in the 8th inning.
So Eduardo Deolio into the batter's box now. 2 for 3 on the day. A line out, a double, and a single for the Majors catcher. First pitch of Deolio will sail high for ball 1. Lawrence standing over at first. Good lead, not an overly aggressive one, and he goes around, so it's 1-1.
Didn't need the appeal there. They say that Deolio went around on the swing. Usually when a swing like that happens, you can tell that the guy was just guessing wrong.
Here's the 1-1 home. That one misses, and it's 2-1.
Well, that pitch looked pretty good, and Corey on the mound kind of asking home plate umpire Rob Stevenson where that one missed. Was it low? Was it out? I'm trying to show him. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where he maybe needs to avoid.
2-1 pitch, breaking ball inside on Deolio, and now the count at 3 balls and a strike.
And that'll get the fans behind the home plate area singing here at Labatt Park.
Corey sets the 3-1 pitch. Lawrence running. Deolio fouls it back, and it's 3-2.
Little 3-1 hit and run there for the Majors. As Lawrence took off on the pitch, Deolio fouled it off.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Lawrence on the move again on 3-2, despite the fact there's nobody out.
I don't want to say your hands are tied here on the mound, but 3 balls on Deolio. You don't want to walk him and put 2 runners aboard for Brownlee, who's been swinging a good bat with nobody out in the inning. You also don't want to groove one for him.
3-2, Lawrence running again. Deolio gives this one a pretty good ride, but it's going to slice well foul. So we'll try one more time on 3-2.
Another opportunity here is Lawrence has to make his way back to first base. He's getting his sprints in over there.
Deolio, a long look towards Majors manager Rube Channard out at third for the signs. Corey looks in, peeks back at first and sets. Here's the offer. In the dirt, ball 4. So Deolio works a walk, and that'll put 2 on with nobody out for Brownlee.
Well, Deolio able to work the walk there after a couple of hit and runs on 3-ball counts that he fouled off. Lawrence moves up to second, and this will get us a mound visit here for the Cardinals. Brownlee at the plate for London. He has been hitting the ball well lately, and now a chance to drive in some more runs and add on to this London Majors lead.
There is action in the Cardinals bullpen. I believe that's Casey Howard loosening up. But Corey will stay out there for now and will face Cleveland Brownlee, who is 1 for 3 on the day with a big game-tying double.
Well, we talked about Brownlee swinging a really good bat. Did not get a hit. Just one at-bat in that, one official at-bat in that 14-4 loss last night in Barrie. But before that, 2 hits against the Baycats on August 9th on Friday. 2 hits against Chatham-Kent on August 5th. And a couple more hits before that against the Barnstormers and the Jackfish. He was riding a 4-game hit streak before last night's ball game.
Brownlee squares, pulls back, it's ball 1. Cleveland had a bit of bad luck yesterday in Barrie. Only the one at-bat you mentioned, but he walked and got hit by a pitch as well. So he did get on base. 1-0 count here to Cleveland. Corners are in. Here's the pitch from Corey. Brownlee off the end of the bat. That's a fair ball. Corey will pick it up, looks at second, will go to first instead, and there's one gone. So he didn't bunt it, but it worked like a sacrifice bunt, and the runners move up 90 feet.
The only unfortunate thing about it is you can't write it down as a sacrifice because of the full swing, but you're right. It does the exact same job there. Cleveland moves up a couple of batters. Runners into scoring position here for Byron Reichstein, who gets ready here, and the infield once again will come in for the Cardinals. They got to try and cut down runs, and they're going to put Reichstein aboard. They don't want to face the lefty.
They will intentionally walk Byron Reichstein here in order to face Starling Joseph with the bases loaded and one out.
Well, I'm interested to see here, and it looks like Gravel and DeCastro will move back. They want to try and turn, if they can, two up the middle.
Joseph 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts against Peters and a ground out. Coming in a big spot. Majors need some insurance runs.
We talked off the top of the broadcast about how Starling in batting practice looked awfully comfortable. It hasn't translated so far this game, but baseball, one of those games, a hit here could change the entire afternoon for him.
Corey taking his time to get on the rubber as the outfield gets situated. I believe a ball came flying in
from Kidzo. He's playing out there just to the right of the scoreboard in right center field.
So one out. Bottom of the 8th inning, Majors lead by 1. Drew Lawrence at third. Eduardo Deolio at second. Byron Reichstein at first after the intentional walk. Here's the pitch to Joseph. Gets jammed, pops it up. Foul territory. Bernardo gives it a look. That one's a foul ball.
Could see some hand motions from Roop Janerdad down the third base line, just telling Starling to calm down here. Deep breath heading into this at-bat. Don't let it weigh too heavy on you.
You know Joseph wants to make them pay after intentionally walking Reichstein before him. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That's there for strike 2.
Great location there. Came back with a fastball on 0-1, and now way up in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes on Joseph.
0-2, 1 out. Corey in the driver's seat. Here's the pitch to Starling. Off the plate outside. Came close but didn't quite find the corner. It's 1-2.
Just missing the outside edge there for Connor Corey. You could tell that he wanted that one. Joseph trying to avoid his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon.
1-2 count now on Starling. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 2-2.
All right, so your 0-2 count, and they've worked it back to 2-2 after a couple of misses, and now things start to work in your favor a little bit more here for Starling. But you got to be ready when one comes.
2-2, 1 out. Off the plate outside, 3-2. Corey can't believe he didn't get that call.
Count moves to full, and you know what, Corey, he is upset on the hill. I don't think that one was the closest pitch of the at-bat. I thought that 1-2 pitch looked a whole lot better. Pardon me, the 0-2 pitch looked a whole lot better.
I agree with you 100%.
Frustration growing after a couple of misses there. Now the count to full.
3-2, 1 out. Lawrence dancing at third. Here's the pitch to Joseph. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Joseph slamming his bat out of frustration. A fastball that puts him away, and there's 2 gone.
And Joseph just boiling over in frustration there, and I'll be honest with you, I am surprised he's still in the game.
I think Rob Stevenson, the home plate umpire, said something to him and shook his head as he was walking off the field. It was nothing directed at the umpire.
No, of course not, but
still
it's
quite
one of
the
those
display.
things that's not a good look at the ballpark and tries to be avoided there. Bernardo picking up what I can only assume is pieces of bat off the ground. Or maybe pieces of the plate that Joseph bashed in. So Caden Cardoso to the plate now, 2 outs in the inning.
Cardoso has the bases loaded. Lawrence at third, DeOlio at second, Wright Shine at first. Here's the pitch. Cardoso in the air, left center field. Going to be a tough play. Coming on Daly, and he's got it. So the Cardinals load the bases with 1 out and wiggle out of it. Cardoso flies out to end the inning. We're through 8 complete here at Labatt Park. Majors lead 3-2.
Hello, my name is Jim Nuther with Nuther's The Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Welcome back inside Labatt Memorial Park. Here we head to the 9th inning. Shot at the downtown London skyline here. Gorgeous day for baseball, and the Majors fans looking to end it off on a high note here. 3-2 the Majors lead as we head to the 9th. Cardinals down their last 3 outs here, Dylan.
Yeah, the Cardinals are down to their final 3 outs, as you mentioned it, Noah. They got out to an early lead in the 4th inning. They got a lot of hits off of Jose Arias and couldn't push runners across the plate early on, and it's come back to cost them. Majors had 1 good inning back in the 6th, and they lead this game now 3-2 because of it.
Well, Dylan, the London Majors, a big chance in the bottom of the 8th inning to add on some insurance, and they did not get those runs across. Cardinals will now come out here and try to make them pay, get a run back and tie this game. Down to 3 outs here in the 9th inning. As Payano back out onto the hill for the Majors. First pitch, outer edge, catches the corner. And it's a strike on Simons to begin the inning.
Simons is 0 for 2 on the day. A line out, a strikeout, and a walk.
And rips it into left field. Tying run aboard to lead off the 9th inning here for the Cardinals.
Boy, oh boy, Simons timed that pitch up perfectly. He was locked and loaded for it and ripped it into left.
And right away, we are going to get a pinch runner into the ball game in place of Evan Simons over at first base. Trying to get who it was.
I believe it's Keeler Loveridge.
We'll wait for that to get officially announced here. Cardinals looking for maybe a little bit of a speed upgrade. Payano, now the lefty on the hill, works with a runner aboard. DeCastro squares around a bunt, gets it down right out front of DeOlio. DeOlio's throw to one is in time. The sacrifice works for the Cardinals, who move the tying run into scoring position with 1 out now.
Boy, oh boy, that sacrifice bunt could not have been any closer to the plate. It was maybe an inch or two away. DeOlio picked it up, had to wait for Krasminski to arrive at first base, but it works exactly the way the Cardinals intended it.
Kind of just dropped and stopped in some of that loose dirt out front of home plate. But it works as intended. And the tying run is aboard here for the Cardinals. Up into scoring position is Loveridge. And right in the part of the order here where the Cardinals want to be. Bernardo at the dish. Behind him is Duncan. The two of them have 4 of the 9 Cardinal hits this afternoon. Payano steps off the back with a pick move.
Keeping an eye on Keeler Loveridge and his speed out there in scoring position now.
In the dirt, Loveridge will hold at 2.
Big block by DeOlio there, keeping that one in front of him. Some sharp break on that pitch from Payano. Didn't get the bite from Bernardo. And could have been trouble if DeOlio didn't keep it in front of him.
Loveridge at second base has seen time this season as both a pitcher and batter. 38 at-bats for him. Has a stolen base, so a little bit of speed there for Loveridge. That is why he's in as a pinch runner at second. Here's the 1-0 delivery from Payano in there for a strike as he drops the curve in.
Beautiful hook there by Victor Payano, just finding the zone on the inside part of the plate to Bernardo.
Payano checks back at the runner at second here as he grabs the 1-1 side. Now the leg kick delivery to the plate, bottom of the zone and misses. 2-1.
Close spot, but a good take from Luis Bernardo, a veteran catcher, a guy who's got experience in pro ball, has seen guys like Victor Payano before, and knows how to approach him at the plate.
Payano was asking as well where that pitch missed. He was told low. Curveball on the ground, into left field, a base hit. Loveridge had to hold and make sure it got through. He's up to third base, and the tying run 90 feet away with 1 gone.
Boy, oh boy, if the Cardinals come back and tie this game, that bases loaded situation in the 8th inning sure would loom large. Majors unable to capitalize on it. Now the tying run is 90 feet away. You'd assume the Cardinals will try to seal with Bernardo, even though Bernardo doesn't have great speed over at first base, just to try to push that runner up, and the Majors may just let it happen. We'll see how everything shakes out here in what is a big spot.
Third hit of the afternoon for Bernardo. Brings up Tyler Duncan. He's 2 for 4. Lefty on lefty for him, though. Payano inside with the fastball, 1-0. After all this inning, can't forget the Majors are a ground ball away from winning the ball game. Would have to be a quick turn with Duncan running. Payano fouled off by Duncan, back into the screen.
Power versus power right here, right now. Victor Payano has a great fastball. Tyler Duncan, lots of pop at the plate. Came with the heater, and Duncan fouled it straight back.
One Payano grabs his side. Not a big lead. Bernardo over at first. Lefty deals. Oh, and it got away from him. DeOlio able to hold on and snag it.
Yeah, that pitch sailed on Victor Payano out there. A fastball that he tried to put up top on Duncan and get a chase outside the zone, and did not work.
I don't hate the idea of working around Duncan here as well. DeBenning is on deck. He's 0 for 4, has struck out twice this afternoon. Here's the 2-1. Off the end of the bat, into center field. Duncan has tied the game here in the 9th for the Cardinals on his 3rd hit of the afternoon.
Tyler Duncan did not get a lot of that baseball, but he got just enough of it to muscle it out into center field as it floated in front of Drew Lawrence, which allows Loveridge to score, and that's what Tyler Duncan does. He comes up in big spots for the Hamilton Cardinals and delivers a big blow to the Majors, tying this game up.
You need your big players to come up at big times, and Duncan delivers a tying run here in the 9th. Now Payano delivers outside with a fastball for ball 1. DeBenning the batter here for Hamilton.
Skylar Janice getting loose in the Majors bullpen right now.
Lefty delivers. Strike 1. A little bit of a hush over the crowd here at Labatt Park. Lead disappeared here in the 9th. Low in the dirt, picked by Deolio. 2-1.
Payano having a hard time finding the strike zone and finding out pitches right now in this 2nd inning of work. Has thrown mostly strikes. 57% of his pitches in this frame have been for strikes, but it feels like when he's had a chance to put guys away, he's been unable to do so.
As his sign looks back at Bernardo, who stands at second. Now the delivery misses for ball 3.
Hitters count here for DeBenning. The Cardinals just want to keep passing the baton, keep getting guys on base and seeing what they're able to do offensively. Dennis DeBenning 0 for 4 on the day, but no better time than the present to break through.
Three-one delivery. There for a strike, and now the count moves to full. Three balls and 2 strikes here to Dennis DeBenning. Duncan at first, Bernardo at second for the Cardinals. 1 run already across in the inning, and it misses for ball 4. Bases loaded here for Hamilton, 1 out in the 9th.
Payano can't believe that was called ball 4. He really thought he had DeBenning for strike 3. Nonetheless, the bases now are loaded, as you mentioned it, Noah. The force is on at any base. The Majors need to turn 2 or need to cut down the run at the plate somehow. And Payano is in a really tough spot.
Tough spot indeed as Niles strolls to the plate. And Josh Niles, he's also had a good afternoon here. 2 hits for him. And misses for ball 1. That one looked pretty good.
When it rains, it pours, I suppose, for Victor Payano. Didn't get the call on what he thought was strike 3, and then doesn't get the call there on a pitch that looked pretty good.
The 1-0 delivery. In the air to left, on a line, caught by Joseph. Strong throw home is well high. And the go-ahead run in to score. Hamilton up 4-3 here in the 9th.
Josh Niles does his job, gets it deep enough into the outfield that Luis Bernardo can tag up from third base. He comes in to score. Cardinals take the lead. Joseph with a strong throw, a little bit too much on it, but I don't think even if it was right on the money, I don't think they would have had him at the plate. Joseph wasn't able to quite turn his body the way he had hoped to get that throw off with the power and accuracy and momentum going towards the plate, and that allows a run to score, and the Cardinals take a late lead.
So the Majors couldn't hold a 1-run lead here in the 9th inning. And now it's Hamilton's turn to try and add on an insurance run, this time here in the 9th. First pitch there for a strike to Daly. 0 for 2, but has been aboard this afternoon. Curveball fought off and fouled off. 0-2.
We'll see how Payano approaches things here on 0-2. A big insurance run is 90 feet away for the Hamilton Cardinals if Daly can come up in a big spot here.
Fans trying to cheer along with Payano here. 0-2 pitch. Upstairs. Ball 1.
Payano came with a pretty good fastball, but that one sailed high on Daly and missed for the first ball of this count. Payano's pitch count now up to 35 pitches through an inning and 2/3. A little elevated for what you'd like it to be, considering the amount of innings he's pitched.
Strike 3 called. DeOlio applies the tag to Daly, and the inning is over. But the Cardinals strike for 2 in the top of the 9th inning and have regained the lead at 4-3. The Majors head to the bats in the bottom of the 9th. Down a run, needing some offense.
Worst case scenario there for the Majors. They come into that inning with the lead, the 1-run lead, and they had a chance in the 8th inning to add some big insurance. Didn't happen. Simons gets on base with a hard hit single to lead off the 9th. And then a sac bunt for DeCastro. Bernardo stays hot to advance the pinch runner Keeler Loveridge to third of the single. And Tyler Duncan in a big spot bloops a single in there to tie things up before Dave Benning walks. Then Josh Niles, a sacrifice fly. You mentioned it, Noah. You need your big bats to come up in big spots. And who comes up for the Cardinals there? Tyler Duncan and Josh Niles, arguably their 2 biggest bats, if not 2 of their biggest bats.
Well, that's what we talked about, Dylan, and you can even go as far as to Luis Bernardo, who collected his 3rd hit of the afternoon as well. Big players coming up at big times, and they score 2 to take the lead heading into the 9th inning.
New arm coming into this ball game here for the Hamilton Cardinals. It is Casey Howard entering the contest. 11 games as a Hamilton Cardinal. 1 start, 17 innings this season, 12 strikeouts, 6 walks over that frame, a 1-2 record. Has not recorded a save this year, so this is his chance to get his first save of the season. In his IBL career, he's got 5 saves. All of them came in 2019 with the Welland Jackfish, where he spent time from 2019 to 2023 with the Burlington Herd. Prior to that, 5 saves in 2019, 4 in the regular season, 1 in the playoffs for Howard, so has experience in a closer role. And will look to put away the Majors here in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, 5 seasons a part of that Burlington Welland franchise. Came over to Hamilton this summer. And now we'll look to try and close this one out for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Howard's last outing came against the Brantford Red Sox on August 4th, a week ago today. Pitched an inning, did not allow a hit or a run, faced just 3 batters. Got the Red Sox down 1-2-3 and walked away with the win in that contest. That came after a 4-inning performance in a loss against the Guelph Royals on July 21st.
And now the Majors will look for some magic of their own here in inning number 9. Howard ready on the hill, and the righty gets set to start the 9th inning. Ball 1 is inside. Moves the count to 1-0 here.
Victor Plaza the plate. He struck out swing in his first at-bat, flew out to center, and then singled to center in his last at-bat.
Howard misses low. Once again, a pitch that looked pretty good, but the count to 2-0. It's Plaz Mosher, and then back to the top of the order for the Majors. Barring any pinch hitters. As Plaz chops one, third base on is Niles. Throw to one in time, and there's one gone.
Weak contact there off the bat of Victor Plaz, and a routine play for Josh Niles charging in to execute the throw to first, and a good job by Casey Howard getting the first out.
Number 97, Tyler Mosher.
Always good to get that first out of the inning. Mosher to the plate here for London. 1 for 3 this afternoon. We'll look for a big hit to start the offense here in the 9th. Strike one to Ty Mosher.
Mosher has had experience as the catalyst for this Majors offense. Spent a lot of the season in the leadoff spot earlier on.
0-1 delivery. Watches it for strike two, and he's in an 0-2 hole.
Not going to be an easy hole to climb out of if you are Ty Mosher at the plate. Has to battle now against Howard.
The 0-2, swing and a miss. Howard strikes out Mosher, and there's 2 gone here in the 9th.
Well, Majors down to their final out here. Ty Mosher, just 3 pitches. All it took, strike 1 looking, strike 2 looking, strike 3 swinging. And quickly the Majors are running out of chances here.
Ibsen Kurzminski to the plate. Majors down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing by a run. Howard deliveries inside to Kurzminski. Howard grabs his sign. Ready, delivers off the plate for ball 2.
Howard misses with the first 2 here to Kurzminski, just as he did with the first 2 to Victor Plaz. Then came with a good pitch inside the jam Plaz, and he hit a slow dribbler to third base.
The 2-0. This one misses off the outside edge. And Kurzminski's worked it to a 3-0 count here.
Crowd with a bit of a louder ball 4 chant, I think, here, Noah, trying to get on the pitcher.
Trying to do their part here in the 9th, Dylan. Shot at the main grandstand here at Labatt Park. It's where those cheers usually originate from. 3-0. Strike 1. Howard gets it across and works it to a 3-1 count.
Kurzminski taking all the way right there, just trying to get on base and get the Majors a base runner. 0 for 4 today, was hoping to work a walk.
Still a chance to. Gonna have good eyes here on 3-1. And it's popped up sky high on the infield. Over is DeCastro. Catch is made and the ball game is over. Majors can't close it out in the 9th inning. The Cardinals score 2 in the top of the 9th, and they win this ball game by a final score of 4-3.
Tough one for the Majors there. They had a hard time with Corbin Peters, the Hamilton Cardinals starting pitcher. They managed to get 3 finally and knock Peters out of the game. Got Chris Bellato in there, got a pair off of him, but in the end, unable to get the job done when it mattered the most, and it cost them the victory here today.
That is a tough one for the London Majors, who will drop this one. Final score of 4-3 this afternoon at the ballpark. And Dylan, you look around. We talked about the out-of-town scoreboard, the standings at this point in the season in the IBL. At least up here in the broadcast booth, we start to watch those things, and the London Majors dropping a big opportunity here. The Bay Cats losing, the Royals losing. This was a chance to make up some ground and also move out of a tie in a position midway through the standings. Unable to do so here at Labatt Park on this Sunday afternoon.
The best way to describe this game is opportunity lost. I mean, there were opportunities lost during the game, and you mentioned the opportunity lost in the standings because they had a chance to go a game up on the Guelph Royals and sit a game back at the Barrie Baycats. Both of those teams lost today, but now that's not the case. Right now, the Majors are right back where they were coming into today's game with work to be done as they head into the final stretch of the season. The good news is they've got a whole pile of games to do it, but today they had their opportunities. They weren't able to get hits against Corbin Peters early. Then in the 8th inning, they load the bases. They're up a run. They load the bases with one out, needing some insurance, and they can't get it. And eventually it cost them in the 9th inning, giving up 2 runs. Had they had a bigger lead, if they were able to generate a little bit of offense thanks to that bases-loaded spot, could be a different story, but they don't get a run across, and the result is a Hamilton Cardinals victory here today.
Well, the London Majors don't have to wait long before taking on the Cardinals again Tuesday night at Bernie Arbor Stadium in Hamilton. They will then head to Guelph on Wednesday. It is a busy week for these London Majors. They dropped this one by a final score of 4-3 against the Cardinals. That does it for our broadcast here on Majors TV. From Noah Smith, Dylan Baker, Keegan, our producer, and the entire Majors TV crew, thank you for tuning in with us, and we'll see you Friday as the Majors wrap up their regular season at home here with the final home game on Friday night.